You gotta roll a new one. This one's fucking getting short. Not very good with the pinky thing. Look, here's the deal. You got King Rob, him and Zenny, right? So has he been going without sex all this time? Because I doubt his fucking dingling's long enough to reach over in England. If he's so sexy, the women should be fucking just crawling all over him. He should be batting them fuckers off. No, I got Zenny. Get away from me. All right. So he's just like Randy. He goes to bed at night and he wakes up alone. Hey, I'm divorced. I've been had, loved, fucking chewed up, thrown out, fucking tried to come back. Yeah. I watched two of my fucking high school friends put Terry in her place. Didn't like it. I wasn't expecting it. Billy's our friend. Enough said. Yeah, this fucking Alvaro. Who you think you are, Wigan? Dumb fucker. Time is it? 5:56. I don't know if I got time to play this fucker or not.
Just trolled CNN into saying perhaps the most hilarious thing that has ever been broadcast on their network. As everyone's aware, many of the Doge employees are consisting of young tech wizards, particularly the one who went by the handle of Big Balls, which really upset many of the media, although they were obsessed with repeating his name over and over and over again. And then they got more upset when they learned that the 19-year-old has a State Department email address now, since, well, he is a member of the Doge team. And so Elon Musk then changed his Twitter name to Harry Balls. And CNN took the bait and did this.
Disruptor in chief, Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias, at least he changed his social media handle to Harry Balls, tweeted this morning, democracy in America is being destroyed by judicial coup. An activist judge is not a real judge.
Hopefully we'll get another compilation like this tonight of Elon Musk's new pseudonym.
Young computer wizard with the aforementioned Big Balls. Because who among us doesn't feel better about Big Balls in charge of American air traffic control?
Yeah. And every day now, the Marxist Democrats are organizing their foot soldiers to hit the streets to complain about DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, making the government more efficient, cutting wasteful and ridiculous, insane programs.
Their live event, as we are taking a look out of Washington, D.C., as Democrats are protesting the Department of Government Efficiency. That's coming up next. Stay with us.
So the official Democrat Party platform now is that they want the government to stay inefficient. So the new buzzword is constitutional crisis. Saving Americans countless billions of dollars in fraud and waste is a danger to our democracy.
We are 3 weeks into the second Trump presidency, 3 weeks, and tonight there are warnings that the U.S. is dangerously close to a constitutional crisis. Now, the first shoe on this dropped when a federal judge today said the White House is defying his order to unfreeze billions of dollars in federal aid, marking the first time that we've had a judge expressly accuse the Trump administration of ignoring a court ruling. And in a separate case today, federal employees here
CNN
told a judge that the administration was Washington told a judge that the administration was defying another order by not reinstating workers who had been put on leave.
The president is the senior most executive of the government. He can fire any government employee he wants to. The latest post from the Doge Twitter account today, the Department of Agriculture terminated 18 contracts for a total of $9 million, including contracts for Central American Gender Assignment Consultant Services, Brazil Forest and Gender Consultant Services, and the Women in Forest Carbon Initiative Mentor Program. Many are also upset with Elon because he's been calling out the dangers in systemic anti-whiteism in South Africa, particularly being spewed by this whack job. But standing up for white people, even just not wanting white farmers in South Africa to be killed, is considered to be white supremacy to the liberal lunatics.
Elon is over in South Africa, threatening Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa.
First of all, he's not over in South Africa. He's posting on Twitter, on X, about it.
And telling him, we are coming in here, I'm going to create a whole battery factory. But you guys work to get something, I believe in your constitution, that says that the black South Africans and people who we fought for to get rid of apartheid now can have 30% in all of the foreign businesses that come in. Elon Musk said, I'm going to build a battery factory. I want you to get rid of that 30%. And so we said no. And so I talked with the ambassador from South Africa. They're fighting, they're struggling. But guess what happened? Trump announced that they're going to get rid of all the foreign aid if he doesn't do it.
Yes. And this is an image from Google Maps. Notice that the former Gulf of Mexico has been properly renamed in accordance with President Trump's executive order as the Gulf of America. Trump derangement syndrome from those in the media is off the charts. Little Brian Stelter posted this.
Think about it. A year ago, you could go days without seeing or thinking Joe Biden. Now you're lucky if you can go hours without thinking about President Trump. He's inescapable. And that's just how he likes it. Today, the Super Bowl is
Brian
also
Stelter.
the Super Bowl.
Imagine not being able to go about your day without being horrified by thoughts of President Trump every few hours and then posting about that publicly for the world to see. Obviously, little Brian is watching too much clown news because all they do is complain about Donald Trump 24/7. Although sometimes their chief statistician can't help but admit the obvious.
CBS News out with a new poll showing that Americans seem to be liking what they're seeing. But it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, I mean, look, but it's not just CBS. You know, I like to take.
It's not just CBS. I like to take an average of the poll.
And holy smokes, I mean, look at what the difference is between now versus 8 years ago during the first Trump term, right? This is Trump's net approval rating on.
This fucking
You
guy.
go back to 2017. Trump was already underwater at -5 points from the net approval rating. That's approval minus disapproval. What a difference 8 years makes. He's on the positive side of the ledger at +4 points. And again, it's not just the CBS News poll. We're talking about the Gallup poll. We're talking about the Ipsos poll.
Yes.
We are talking about the Pew poll. All of these respective pollsters have Trump in a better position now than they did 8 years ago. The bottom line is Americans are far more likely.
That guy look like Philly Joe or what? Just a little shorter?
during Trump's
That's fucking Philly Joe right there.
We are tired of our tax dollars
Time is it?
wasted on anything.
All right, another
Especially
minute.
on
Another
funding
minute.
illegal aliens to invade and then live in
It's
our
almost
country.
over
But
with.
in case you missed my previous video this morning, Doge is discovering who it is in FEMA that has been paying for the illegal aliens to stay in 5-star hotels in places like Manhattan, really all across the country, and they're being fired. And it's in honor of Doge that I released the promo code Doge you can use at my
Eat that. There you go, Rocky. That's why I didn't have any money to help out North Carolina. They're too busy housing fucking illegal people here and keeping them housed, and they fuck. But Trump's Hitler, though. KKK. And he's a Mason, and he's got some subliminal message that has us cornered. Holy fuck. Witches are not real. It's just another, you just need to switch the letters. Instead of B, it should be W. Or instead of W, it should be B. I'm sorry.
On a listener sea cruise to Iceland. Travel in absolute luxury, meet new like-minded friends, and hang out with me. Visit ChrisPlantCruise.com to book today. Civilian federal service follows countless paths, each road unique, distinct. Group term life insurance from WAPA has the coverage and benefits to protect you and your loved ones wherever federal. WAPA, for feds, by feds.
Attention taxpayers. The IRS is intensifying collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or more or have unfiled tax returns, it's time to take action. Tax Network USA's experienced lawyers have saved clients over $1 billion. They're ready to negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Don't risk wage garnishment, property seizure, or losing your home. Call 1-800-278-9000 help you need at 1-800-278-9000 or visit tnusa.com.
Working hard is worth it if you're seeing results. And when it comes to working out, the same thing is true. You want the maximum benefit in the time you have, and that's exactly what Tonal is built for. And with their latest iteration, Tonal 2, you can ensure your workout is more tailored and effective than ever. Tonal's at-home strength training system uses adaptive weight to learn from your movement and set the optimal weight for every move, adjusting in 1-pound increments up to 250 pounds, challenging even the most advanced users to push their limits. You can also experience a full-body burn with the new Arrowhead workouts, the perfect blend of heart-pumping cardio and strength. Plus, the new built-in Smart View leverages a high-resolution camera that lets you see yourself during your workout, analyzes your movement, and provides real-time coaching, just like a personal trainer. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code TONAL200. That's Tonal.com and use promo code TONAL200 for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, promo code TONAL200 for $200 off.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Haiti Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. A couple of accidents to watch out for on 95. One is northbound on 95 at the off-ramp to Dumfries Road, and that is on the ramp to 234. And then northbound before Dale Boulevard at exit 156, an accident blocks the center lane. And you'll also find some slowing southbound on and off from Springfield all the way in towards Fredericksburg. Meanwhile, there is still the accident on the inner loop at the off-ramp to the Springfield interchange. That ramp to go southbound on 95 is blocked at this time. And on 270 northbound at Middlebrook Road, an accident now blocking the 3 right lanes of traffic is jammed up from Quince Orchard Road. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Snow continues to fall across the area, and by the time all is said and done, when it starts winding down midnight to 2 a.m., we'll have a widespread 3 to 6 inches with isolated snow amounts of 7 to 8 inches through southern Maryland and south of I-66.
It's snowing here.
Right now, 29 degrees in Washington, 9 Heather Curtis.
Not really sure how much we're going to get. Snowing up here and no rain. We had rain. It changed. One minute it's 45 degrees and raining, and the next minute it's fucking 10 below and snowing.
Here on number 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. Before I get started, I'd like you to do me a favor. I'd like you to set your DVRs, your smart TVs, or whatever you use to record television to Life, Liberty, and Levin, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and Sunday, 8 p.m.
Sardu, you like that girl, don't you? Those Spanish chicks are fucking. I like brunettes too, you know. As long as nothing like a redhead with blue eyes, though.
Elon Musk are trying to do to save this republic and save this republic.
I have 3 sisters, all red hair, all blue eyes.
So please go ahead and set your DVRs. Many of you are in your cars, call.
But I didn't marry a redhead. I married a brunette, like a half Indian.
Like that, please go ahead. Go ahead and set your DVRs or whatever you use, your smart TVs or recording devices. So you don't have to give it.
The other side of the family's Catholic.
And then when the weekend comes, you forget about it, you turn it right on. That is 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I married a Catholic girl. She married me.
I'm going to spend a lot of time digging in on this stuff. And as you know, Life, Liberty.
Hey, there's something new for you. I was married to a Catholic.
Not because of me, because of you.
Didn't really practice it, though.
Bring pro wrestlers in and this in, and I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm not going to have a conga line of guests, only the best guests. Of course, the opening statement will be written by me, not by others, not by editors, not by ghostwriters. Not that they are. I'm just saying, in my case, they never are. So I'm going to use my decades of experience, my years in the Reagan administration, my years studying the Constitution and the courts, which we have to deal with, writing about the bureaucracy, spending, writing about Marxism, writing about all these things, talking about them with you for all these decades. We're here for a reason, you and I. We're alive for a reason, you and I. And this is our time. This is our day. This is what we live for. And the time has arrived. It's here. You're staring right at it. Good versus evil. Socialism versus capitalism. Marxism versus constitutionalism. It's all happening right now in front of your eyes. And you made this possible because you elected Donald Trump. And without Donald Trump, this wouldn't be going on. That's how fundamental this is. This is it.
Tuck the end in.
This is our battle.
Tongue full of fucking
your grandchildren in this nation survives
tobacco.
Freedom and prosperity or not. What Donald Trump and Elon Musk and their team are doing, they're peeling the varnish, that thick 100 years of varnish off of what the so-called progressives, the Marxists, have been doing to our country, to our culture.
Spending your money.
The enshrined corruption and deceit.
The more money you make, the more you pay.
Into the bureaucracy.
Corporations don't pay taxes, but the people who work for corporations, they pay individual income tax.
Using the same propaganda. These demagogues. Foul mouth. Urging people to take to the streets. This is their edifice. It's not ours. This is their edifice. They build it. They own it. You fund it. And this edifice exists to advance their power, to advance their causes. Not for the betterment of the American people, not for the betterment of our country. And they're defending it right now. They're exposing themselves. They're making it obvious to any citizen of this country who wants to watch, regardless of party, regardless of background. Anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together, they see, you see. The Democrat Party, the Democrat leaders, the media, academia, the government unions, the people on the take, that is, the people on the go, the people on the, they're all in unison. They're trying to defend what they've created for themselves. You pay for this. They're stealing from you. To put money in their own pockets, to put money behind their own politics, to put money behind their own surrogates, to put money behind their own ideology. This isn't what the Constitution created. What you're seeing What you're seeing is the exposure of this Democrat left-wing power structure and cultural control that are now under assault by a brave man, a courageous president who came to this not out of a philosophical background, not out of the conservative movement or any movement. A patriotic American who loves his country, who loves his fellow countrymen.
There's a typo if I ever seen one. Hit the fucking go button.
In this country, capitalism sees it's under attack, puts everything on the line, his business, his health, his welfare, his life. Nobody else has done this. Nobody. Nobody. His critics, these Lilliputians, these punks, they've achieved nothing. They're know nothing. They don't put anything on the line. They're takers. And they demand more from you. From you. The left-wing power structure and cultural control that has been preached for over 100 years by intellectuals, communists, and scholars about how you take over the bureaucracy, how you create this unelected massive government, how you make it so big, so overwhelming, that it is literally impossible to manage it, because it manages you. How to use unelected judges, as Woodrow Wilson talked about, one of the early Marxists, dressed up as a progressive. Change, he says, will come from the courts. So they're using right now the unelected branches of the government. One that doesn't even exist legitimately under the Constitution, a fourth branch, this massive bureaucracy that writes almost all the laws and regulations. And the courts, the activist, progressive, leftist judges, that Democrat presidents has spent 100 years creating and populating in our courts.
How many squirrels you got? I got like 7.
An army of bureaucrats.
A fucking army of them.
To build a wall now. A wall around what they've created to protect it. They're issuing judicial orders. Unconstitutional orders, in my view, in most respects. Trying to sabotage even the uncovering of what's being done to you. You should be more than happy. You should be ecstatic that Donald Trump is in there, that Elon Musk is assisting him, and that there are hundreds, maybe thousands of others trying to get to the bottom of this and making it available to you like never before in modern history. We're learning more about the rot, the dark underside we've ever known. We know a lot. We never knew this. And as the Democrats run to the microphones and say they're attacking Social Security, they're attacking this. No, ladies and gentlemen, that can't work again. $52 billion a year being stolen out of the Social Security system. In many regards, the Democrat Party power structure, illegal aliens. The entire project.
I have a lot of birds.
I'll make it. For all of us to see. And you have judges who are trying to stop it.
Pigeons, cowbirds, I get all the birds.
Obama, judges appointed by Biden, judges appointed by Clinton. One judge, a senior status judge in Washington, D.C., who hates Trump. Another judge in Seattle. All of them. As the Democrats, as the Democrat power structure, whether it's their state attorneys general, whether it's their well-paid
unelected judges
groups bringing these cases.
That's the problem.
The districts.
It's at the federal level.
Trying to get the right judges, and for the most
your local and your county judges are elected.
Put an end to this. To try and stop it before you.
Federal judges aren't elected. That's a problem.
They're saying, give us our damn government back.
Leaves the door open for fraud.
Give us our money back. That you're stealing.
Judges control money.
place is truly revolutionary, and I mean this. What Donald Trump is doing is revolutionary. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary.
Oh, I have Blue Jays.
Concerned.
I have a lot of Blue Jays.
Viewer just like you. I watched him today. I listened to him yesterday on our show. He seems a little tired to me. Does he to you, Mr. Producer? I've never seen anything like this in 3 weeks. The man's been president for 3 weeks. The trajectory of economic socialism, the trajectory of cultural Marxism, the trajectory of political centralism, all of which are aimed at destroying all the barriers in the Constitution to prevent exactly what you see that Donald Trump is exposing. The ruling class in Washington, D.C., let me explain it again.
Vegas is pretty slow.
Populism. This is not about the middle class versus the elite. Last time I checked, Elon Musk is not in the middle class. It's sophomoric to make these arguments. It is about the ruling.
Geez, I use that word, sophomoric.
The tools of a government that's almost unrecognizable against we the people, regardless of our wealth or lack of wealth, regardless of our genitalia, regardless of our faith and everything else. It is the ruling class versus we the people. The President of the United States is supposed to go along. He's supposed to make the right choices. He's supposed to make promises that he
Barometric pressure is going down because my nose is getting stuffed.
Trump is atop the ruling class looking down, and he's saying, this must not stand. This must not stand. And all the lords and all the nobles, that is the Democrat members of Congress, the media, their ilk, all the lords and all the nobles of the ruling class, they expect a king, but they didn't get a king. They got a patriot who's now atop the ruling class and trying to dismantle and expose what they're doing to the people of the country. To the people of the country. So the Democrats rely on a phalanx of unelected judges, hysterical propaganda, media sycophants and surrogates to build this wall as fast as they can around their project that's being threatened, their project that took them 80 to 100 years to build, their project, which is anti-American, which is unconstitutional, their project. Now you know why they wanted to keep Donald Trump out of office and put him in prison. What you've learned, and it's very upsetting, that the most corrupt and dishonest entity in America is the federal government. Not every federal employee, not every politician, but enough of them. The most corrupt and dishonest entity in America is the federal government. I'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. A new president is sworn in. America's greatness is being restored. And there's breaking news every minute. Now, tens of millions of Americans are turning off Fox and CNN and tuning in to Newsmax for the breaking information they really need to know. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top news brands in America. Find it yourself on all major cable systems and on your TV or smartphone store. Just download the Newsmax app for free and start watching. You'll get great shows with Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and Carl Higby, and more. Find out why millions of Americans have made the switch. Even President Trump says Newsmax is terrific, and he's watching. So make the switch to Newsmax. Check us out on cable and satellite TV, or download the Newsmax app today. Watch us anytime, anywhere. Newsmax is real.
That's some strong pot, too, boy. You take a fucking toke of that shit. It just... straight up. Randy, remember when you did that? You went like that? Boy, you got some big old fucking honkers, boy. Randy, you should come up, take your shirt off. Let's see what you look like bare-chested. I'm gay. I want to see what you look like bare-chested.
And the interloop ramp to go on to the Springfield interchange remains blocked with crash activity. Now from GarageReport.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Ooga.
7 tomorrow morning. A total of 3 to 6 inches expected in the immediate DC area, more to the south. Tomorrow, cloudy with a chance of snow, freezing rain, and sleet. Highs in the upper 30s.
Attention taxpayers.
Like a beard's growing, I can feel it.
Collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or more or have unfiled tax returns, it's time to.
That fucker couldn't do a push-up.
These experienced lawyers have saved clients over $1 billion. They're ready to negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Don't risk wage garnishment, property seizure, or losing your home. Call 1-800-278-1000 today.
Yeah, I got rid of him, Charlie. I only want to see his name. Fuck you, Randy. You punk motherfucker. You've been trying for 7 years to get me banned from the internet. You're a dumb fucker. I can ban you from my room. Every account you come in with, that's the first thing I'm going to hit.
Your workout is more tailored and effective than ever. Tonal's at-home strength training system uses adaptive weight to learn from your movement and set the optimal weight for every move, adjusting.
Your accounts are staying banned, Randy. I made that decision a couple of weeks ago. It's getting to that point. You can't resist coming in here and trolling me.
New built-in smart view leverages a high-resolution camera that lets you see yourself during your workout. Analyze.
I banned them up here too, so it's completely gone.
Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code Tonal200. That's Tonal.com and use.
Yeah, they've been doing it all. That's their mantra right now, Sardu. That's their thing they have against me. Empty Child or whoever, they fucking the retards are fucking calling me pedo, and that I approach somebody in New York sometime, fucking the name I don't even know who the fuck. They just it's like Wiggin was saying today. I listened to you, Wiggin. Oh, they just make shit up. Yeah, that's exactly what you do, Wiggin.
Since I never ever had that problem again. But what did the IRS reported tax fraud due identity theft went up 20% last year? Get LifeLock today.
Well, whatever, Sardu. Prove that to me. Prove it. I'm not going to believe anything you say, Sardu. You're the biggest fucking hypocrite out here. That's the name of the game. Who can be the biggest hypocrite? I'm not playing that game. I can't be a hypocrite. It gets my nature. I refuse to be a hypocrite. I can't do it. It's not a good image.
/Bongino for 40% off. Look today.
As a young adult at this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next?
And Relentless knows I'm live.
The thing is, there's no right answer. Only
you want to get into this? You want to discuss what's going on? I'm keeping my mouth shut. But you know what, Sardu? You want to spark it? I'll spark it. All right. Right now, there's the fight is between Mina and Relentless. That's what's going on. I'm going to stay out of it as best I can. Mina likes me as I am. She knows I'm not a fake and that I would never screw her over. Just, wouldn't matter what she did. Ain't going to happen anyways. The one thing Mina's never lied. I've never caught her in a lie. She laughs and jokes around and shit, and trolls people, but she doesn't lie. Yeah, I can't blame her for JC's lies. She's not the one who lied about it. Nina's the first one to come at me in Fox 46. First woman to start posting at me, and we developed a relationship. It was fun. 6, 7 years ago, however long it was. My neighbor.
The left-wing initiatives around the globe through the United States Agency for International Development. We're going to go through them. Then we're going to go through what they're doing to Social Security. And they haven't even looked yet at the Education Department and how they're using the money at the Defense Department. They just started, which is why this entire ruling class is trying to smother them as fast as they can. But we're going to be here and we're going to fight alongside them.
Trust him, Will. That will
Veterans in here, so they can second what I'm about to say. You're in the military, like I was a cook, so you're part of supply. It's called the NAY Award. No mistakes on your books, accurate inventory, accountable for everything. Because every captain of every ship, they get audited. That's like a big thing, having an audit, and we're getting inspected. You're always being inspected. So these agencies, FEMA, the main one, all that money in New York City. That means the politicians, the local politicians in New York are crooked also. Because those business owners, they're gonna have relatives, wives, whatever. They're gonna be on the city board, county board. They're gonna be something. So Rocky nailed it when he said no, it couldn't help North Carolina. That's the reason. And we knew that was the reason. Paying for all them immigrants they should be sent back right at the border. Oh, Donald Trump put kids in cages. No, those facilities were built before. You guys are just so disingenuous. Oh, keep crying, Sardu. Nobody cares. It's a straw argument. All right. The nonsense has to stop. Sardu, I hope your granddaughter or whoever isn't the next Kate Steinle. Or what, Lake and Riley. Or a British girl, they're having a big problem with gangs fucking kidnapping British girls and doing shit, committing crimes, rape, all kinds of crap. You don't hear about that. They might not have guns over there, but you know what? If you don't have a gun, you're going to find something else. Sardu is part of the All Caps Club. He's in with Rocky Goldman and all them people. And Dougie. He's in the southern part of New York State. He's down where fucking Logical is. That's where Mongongo is. Mr. Vavoom. Oh, JC. I ever fucking lied. That first year, JC fucking, I trolled that fucking place so bad. Hey, JC just went live, everybody. She just went live. Notification right there. Start, dude. JC's live. Same way I think about what's his name there, that congressman, right? Carlos Danger. What the hell is his fucking and his wife Humma Wiener? Humma is her fucking Humma Huma huma. All right. Forget it, Sardu. You're a day late and $1 short. You should have been in here 6 months bringing this shit up. So, Sardu, you're just a porn bomber. Push your buttons. So what? I don't care. I don't follow him. You follow the guy. I don't follow Elon Musk. Not until now. I mean, he's in the news now. You have no choice but to hear about him. You're no Elon Musk, that's for sure. Who the fuck are you, Sardu? What the hell have you done? You know? And they try to make like he's the real president and he's telling what's going on. And the thing with Joy-Ann Reid. Wait, I don't know if fucking Levin will play that tonight. He probably will. Those people at MSNBC. Resist, we much, this much we will. On that fucking Al Sharpton. I'd like to see Al Sharpton, come on up. That's on his radio station. 6 years ago. I got through. It's true. Dardu used to be Madu's Dancing Club. Yeah, he doesn't use it anymore, but that was one of his handles. He's part of the all caps crew. They adopted Deuterino. Oh, that's Billy Hayden, Mina. No, it wasn't. You guys are so fucked up in the head. But it's fun ranting like this. I'm enjoying it.
Wasteful spending, the administration's new Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, well, they began exposing this. And that's why he's under relentless attack. You need to support him. You need to support the president. You need to support these
Obama.
Who could be doing anything they want. And I want you to think about it with all the attacks on billionaires. Many billionaires need to be ruthlessly exposed, like the Soroses of the world and his ilk. But Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. And look what he's doing. He's fighting for you.
No, JC went live only to fucking go private.
Look what he's doing. He's fighting for you, the average.
So she's not live.
Look at this scandal list. DEI, the radical left agenda, which is basically a racist agenda. 45 million.
That says she just went live right there.
In Burma. Burma is a centralized military police state that's an appendage to communist China. 45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Scholarships in Burma.
Claim he made her not stream there those months that she didn't stream.
Right at $375 million, in other words, still out there to spend, had been canceled. They canceled.
He's safe out there, Matt.
$1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities. $1.5 million in art for inclusion of people with disabilities. $19 million for 2 separate inclusion programs in Vietnam. $1.3 million to provide Arab and Jewish Israeli residents with a collaborative platform for photography skills. The program offered participants mixed identity photography workshops. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Even at this agency, they don't have it all yet. LGBT, $2 million for activity to strengthen trans-led organizations to deliver gender-affirming healthcare in Guatemala. This is your hard-earned money. This is your money. $37.7 million to study HIV among sex workers, their clients, and transgender people in South Africa. $7.9 million to teach Sri Lanka journalists about gender-sensitive reporting. You see, it's the whole left-wing Democrat agenda being subsidized with your dough by the tune of billions overseas. $1.5 million to upscale LGBT rights advocacy.
Got a feeling I know who Gina is.
Labor.
I'll reserve my thought.
environmental, social, governmental investments in Africa. $2.5 million to build electric vehicle charging stations and other related infrastructure in Vietnam. How many electric vehicles do they have in Vietnam? We don't even build them in our own country. Charging stations. Through the USAID Vietnam Urban Energy Security Project, the agency has provided funding and technical assistance for innovative solutions that address urban energy and environmental issues. Nobody even knows what the hell they're talking about. $1 million to assist disabled people in Tajikistan to become climate leaders. $24 million for a green transportation and logistics program in the country of Georgia. Oh, and there's more. Culture and educational propaganda. $20 million on.
I think that's where what's her name got her 2 kids from, boys. Laura Ingram.
Now archived version of USAID's website.
Self-made woman.
Series was designed to promote inclusion, mutual respect.
Used to be on the radio.
Religious and sectarian groups in Iraq.
Came on before Rush Limbaugh.
According to the White House, corporate media
filled in for Rush Limbaugh, I think, maybe a couple times.
The Trump administration argued it didn't mention that the funds would be used for tourism purposes. However, USAID has invested $100 million in tax dollars that have either directly or indirectly boosted Egypt's tourism, including an $8.6 million campaign in 2020. See, the media has no interest in any of this, no curiosity. They might as well give the media a bunch of pillows rather than notepads and everything so they can smother every story they don't like. $1.2 million to construct a state-of-the-art 440-seat auditorium. $1.2 million for the African Methodist Episcopal Church Service and Development Agency in Washington, D.C. That's amazing. Remember, this is supposed to be for foreign aid? $29 million to improve the skills of young and female Egyptians in the manufacturing and $4.5 million to advance integrity and accountability in the information space, I'm quoting, and build societal resilience in the face of disinformation in Kazakhstan. $6 million to transform digital spaces to reflect feminist democratic principles. $160 million to update payment systems in Afghanistan. We're giving billions of dollars to this terrorist regime in Afghanistan. This will make you throw up. It's unbelievable. $1 million to a Hamas-linked charity in Gaza. And I'm going to get to that whole fool I host on one of the Sunday shows, attacking Haggerty, Senator Haggerty. You don't have any evidence that Hamas is being funded. It's right there in the numbers. $15 million for condoms and oral contraceptives in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan. You hear that? $4.67 million to EcoHealth Alliance, a research organization that funded the Wuhan lab linked to COVID-19 virus. Tip of the iceberg, as I say. And we've already talked about billions of dollars. I'm not done. $330 million to fund alternative development projects that failed to deter farmers and drug traffickers from cultivating poppy plants in Afghanistan. The federal government gave hundreds of thousands of dollars of meals that went to an Al-Qaeda-affiliated fighters in Syria, according to a November report from the Washington Times. We're funding terrorists. We're funding terrorists. Margaret Brennan, she brings on the Jew hater, the American hater, Omar. Tell us, everybody, what happened when you were in a refugee camp in Somalia with USA. Margaret, you going to have a show this Sunday talking about what I'm reading on the air here? Of course not. Why? You're a fraud and a phony and a fool.
Margaret Brennan.
They awarded $1.2 billion to undisclosed recipients. Undisclosed recipients. To provide context for USAID spending in fiscal year 2023, the agency managed a roughly $43.8 billion budget. Outside USAID, the federal government also made questionable funding decisions through the State Department, and they go through that as well. And so the list goes on. What about Social Security? Rick Manning over at Town Hall, $50 to $100 billion a year. Listen to me. All you folks on Social Security, about to go on Social Security, all you folks that pay into Social Security, better pay attention to this. This is a program that's already teetering. because of all the illegal immigrants and others who are on this program. But money is being stolen out of this program, hand over fist, by the billions and billions. And the Democrats don't want you to know about it. They don't want the Trump administration to look into it. They don't want anything to be done about it. 50 to 100 billion a year. That's how much has already been identified by the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. The review of Treasury payments is likely fraud. Now, there's a judge that doesn't want them looking at Treasury payments, who's trying to prevent them, a left-wing Democrat judge. This amount is nothing more than identifying how much is paid monthly to recipients who don't have a Social Security number or other government identification attached to their file, which means they're getting money they're not supposed to get. They don't have a Social Security identification number or an account, and they're getting $50 to $100 billion. This is just from a cursory look. Elon Musk has already estimated, based on work done to date, that there's approximately $1 trillion in fraud, waste, and abuse in the system. That can be identified and prevented. But the Democrats are standing on the side of $1 trillion in fraud. They want the Social Security system ripped off. It's unbelievable. Surprising, writes Manning, that the various systems that are in place to ostensibly prevent fraud failed to do so spectacularly. Where is Hakeem Jeffries? Where's Nancy Pelosi? How long did they control the House of Representatives? Chuck Schumer. How come they're not held to account? How come that these politicians, they keep spending our money and stealing it, aren't held to account? At least publicly. They get up there and they talk about how we are destroying this. They have destroyed it. They own it. They're stealing from it. All these oversight committees. The hell are they doing? In what, 2 weeks' time, really? Elon Musk and his team goes in and they've uncovered more than Congress has ever uncovered. Because the Democrats in particular, they don't want to uncover it. They are building what I told you. This wall, a Praetorian Guard, a wall to protect their fraud, to protect their edifice that they've created. That's what they're doing. The ruling class. This is the ruling class. And as recent Democrat-led lawsuits have shown, these systems are run by long-time career bureaucrats who apparently have not been doing their jobs very well. The fact lawsuits are, after lawsuit is being filed to prevent employees of the White House directly appointed by the president access to the payment systems so they can see this, reveals the lack of accountability which the nameless, faceless, highly compensated bureaucrats have traditionally enjoyed. And benefactors. So why haven't the U.S. House and Senate appropriation committees, what have they been doing the past 20 years? It's a good question. I'll stay on it. So I keep digging because that's what I do. That's why I want you to set your DVR, your smart TV to Life, Liberty, and Levin this weekend. Every weekend, really, but Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Folks, please do it. There's information you need to have. You need to have, and I'm digging it out, baby, and I'm going to give it to you. As long as I'm allowed to have my platforms. God knows how long that'll be, seriously. But here we have from the Daily Caller, September of last year, not that long ago. Robert Shamad. If current trends persist, the Biden-Harris administration will have made over $1 trillion in improper payments by the time Biden leaves office. According to a report released by the watchdog group, Open the Books. Where's your on Capitol Hill? $1 million, ladies and gentlemen. It's for the private sector. These people, they federal prison.
Excuse me.
This is enshrined, legalized graft. Hold on 1 second. I got somebody 8 feet away. Stay right there.
Sorry, Charlie.
Read to you. I want to read to you this sentence again. By Frederick Bastiat, who lived from 1801 to 1849. He died at the age of 48. a French scholar, although he wasn't always a scholar. Yes. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it, and a moral code that glorifies it. You can see the Democrats, the media, others. This is their legal system. This is their moral code. It's not ours. And then they claim that those of us who challenge it, we're the ones challenging the Constitution. You see how it works? This is how it works with Marxists, fascists, propagandists, autocrats of all kinds. They project onto us what they are and what they do. When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society, writes Bastiat, over the course of that time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. And so you see these activist, radical left-wing judges or Trump-hating judges. That's what they've done. That's what they're doing. Now, we've got a lot more. We've got less than 3 hours now. We've got a lot more. Stick with me. I'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Yep, and I'll be right back.
Conservative political gathering of the year. See
time, ladies and gentlemen. President seizing it, Musk is seizing it, his cabinet seizing it, and we need to seize it. This program and conservative talk radio generally, more important than ever before. Life, living, and live in on the weekends, more important than ever before. I can assure you of this. Football's now over. And I want to encourage you to set your DVRs, your smart TVs, 8 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday on Fox, 8 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday on Fox. Please don't procrastinate. Let's do it. While we still have free speech, while I'm still on these various platforms, thank the good Lord, deeply blessed. I want to be able to convey information to you that you won't get anywhere else. So it's very, very important. I believe every election could have an impact on our financial system, and post-election changes are important. Very important to pay attention to. Whether it's when inflation is high, government spending, or changes in tax laws, your investment portfolio could be affected. And by portfolio, I mean your basic money, your paycheck. Maybe you have some money in savings, a checking account. Maybe you have an IRA or a 401k, whatever it is. That's why I've always relied on gold as part of a diversification program for myself to protect me. Because it's a timeless safeguard against economic uncertainty, one that I encourage you to educate yourselves about. When it comes to gold, I trust Advantage Gold. Why? I've dealt with the other gold companies. They're one of the top gold companies in America, and who I turn to for my own purchases. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Call them now for a free gold investment kit and see how you can help protect your own hard-earned finances and diversify your portfolio. That's the key. And when you do, you might even qualify for $1,000 in free silver. That's 800-900-8000. Don't wait, folks. Don't wait. That's 800-900-8000. There's no obligation. Check them out. Tell them Mark Levin sent you. Get the free gold investment kit. Look it over yourself. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional. Now, we're going to have a break at the top of the hour. About how long, Mr. Producer? In 1 minute, so I can't get to really anything in that amount of time. But I'm going to pick it up where I've left off here. There's so much more to get into, including the Constitution. So you're going to get the full array. What's taking place, what we do to combat those who are trying to undermine this administration. These other cabinet secretaries, whether it's Gabbard, whether it's RFK, now they're trying to really go after Kash Patel again. Little Dick Durbin from from Illinois is out there saying he's committed perjury. Little Dick Durbin is a filthy, poisonous cancer on the body politic. He's a bleeding hemorrhoid on the you-know-where. And so he's a hemorrhotic, as you know. That's a bleeding hemorrhoid human being. He's a hemorrhotic. That's what he is, Little Dick Durbin. Tons more when we come back. We're just getting started. I'll see you in a minute.
Making sense of your world. Greatly appreciated. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. I love listening to you. Making sense of the news.
LifeLock, during tax season, your sensitive info does a lot of traveling to places you can't control, stopping off at payroll, your accountant or a tax preparer, and countless other data centers on its way to the IRS. Any of them can expose you to identity theft because they all have the info in your W-2. Just a ticket for criminals to steal your identity. I had my identity stolen. It was horrible. I got LifeLock. I've been a customer ever since. I've never, ever had that problem again. No wonder the IRS reported tax fraud due to identity theft went up 20% last year. Get LifeLock today. Don't get your identity stolen. They monitor millions of data points per second and alert you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, backed by the $1 million protection package. Restoration's guaranteed or your money back. Don't mess around with this stuff. I dealt with this for a long time before I had LifeLock. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Get LifeLock protection for tax season and beyond. Join now, save up to 40% for your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock, use promo code Bongino, or go to LifeLock.com/Bongino for 40% off. Terms apply. Do it today.
When your business information is missing or inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. Cumulusboost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit. They didn't think I was going to make it. I'm Latoya Lucas, and I'm a veteran. I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible.
EAV helps veterans like Latoya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with all service members and their families. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Woodbridge Waterville, a Cumulus Media Station. Making sense of the news. News now.
WMAL News at 7. I'm Heather Curtis. President Trump asked if he personally guarantees that federal workers who take the buyout will get paid through September as promised.
Well, they're getting money, but they're getting a good deal. They're getting a big buyout.
Elon Musk standing next to Mr. Trump in the Oval Office defending his cut as the president signed an executive order limiting hiring in the federal government to no more than one person for every 4 who leave.
We're just trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy to make sure that there need to be a lot of people working in the federal government, as many as currently.
Maryland Congresswoman April McLean Delaney joining federal employees rallying against DOGE on the Hill today at the so-called Rally to Save the Civil Service. She's among those urging federal workers not to take the fork in the road buyout offer.
That fork is dressed up like a knife.
The snow is going to keep falling for a few more hours. A winter storm warning's in effect in our region through 7 a.m. tomorrow. 7 News meteorologist Veronica Johnson.
More snow to come over the next couple of hours with this high intensity snowfall rates going to be over 1 inch per hour. And that means some hazardous driving on area roads.
Says it looks like it will wrap up sometime between midnight and 2 a.m. and she expects the D.C. metro area to get around 3 to 6 inches when all said and done. School systems around the region are closing or opening late tomorrow, including Montgomery County. MCPS will have a snow day tomorrow. The school system dismissed students at the usual time today, while most school systems let kids out early. Montgomery County Schools used up all of its built-in snow days last month. 2 Northern Virginia teachers facing sex abuse charges involving children in separate incidents.
Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis says 7 people were arrested last week in an operation targeting online sexual predators.
One of those persons arrested, Richard Berkowitz, was past tense, a Falls Church High School PE teacher.
In another case, charges have now been filed against a Fairfax County elementary school teacher.
John Barber was a Fairview elementary school teacher who was wrapped up in an investigation where he harmed 2 girls.
Police say there could be more victims. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
A bill banning cell phones in Virginia schools passes the State House and Senate.
Teens spend on average 7 hours a day on their phones.
Governor Glenn Youngkin issued an executive order over the summer, and legislators have done their part. Senate Bill 738 says phones must be away from the start of school until the end of the day, and while it ensures that students won't be suspended for having devices, the bill says if phones are out during the day, schools also need to do more to decrease harassment and distraction. The governor adds, according to one principal,
Lunch in the cafeteria is loud once again, because students are talking to one another instead of buried in their phones.
Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
An American teacher who'd been serving a 14-year prison sentence in Russia will be at the White House later tonight after the Trump administration negotiated an unspecified exchange for his release today. Mark Vogel was flown out of Russia earlier today. He was detained there in 2021. His family says he was traveling with medically prescribed marijuana. Traffic and weather next on WMAL.
This podcast is sponsored by Laurel Road. At Bigger Pockets, we're always trying to find ways to help you maximize your buying power, which is why you should check out Laurel Road. Laurel Road's banking and lending solutions include student loan refinancing, mortgages, personal loans, student loan cashback credit cards, tailored savings accounts, and more. Laurel Road's high yield savings account features 0 monthly service fees. There are no minimum balance requirements, and it costs $0 to open. It's a great solution for the cash portion of your portfolio. LaurelRoad.com/pockets to learn more. Laurel Road, your partner on the road to financial peace of mind. Equal housing lender. Yes.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
Attention taxpayers, the IRS is intensifying collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or more or have unfiled tax returns, it's time to take action. Tax Network USA's experienced lawyers have saved clients over $1 billion. They're ready to negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Don't risk wage garnishment, property seizure, or losing your home. Call 1-800-278-9000 today. Get the help you need at 1-800-278-9000 or visit tnusa.com.
Belle Marie and the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. On the Beltway in Springfield, there is still accident activity on the inner loop at the off-ramp to go on 295 southbound. That ramp is blocked, and the ramp from the outer loop to go on to northbound 395 blocked as well. With accidents, you'll need to use extra caution on the on and off ramps and also on the roads in general. A couple of roads closed due to accident activity, including Dale Carlia Parkway in the district. That is closed between Loughborough Road and Westmoreland Circle. In Colesville, Fairland Road is closed between East Randolph Road and Columbia Pike. And in Burtonsville, Greencastle Road is closed between Wildlife Lane and Old Gunpowder Road. The accident on 270 northbound at Middlebrook Road now moved to the right shoulder with traffic is jammed from Clapper Road. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch Sim forecast.
Snow continues to fall across the area, and by the time all is said and done, when it starts winding down midnight to 2 a.m., we'll have a widespread of 3 to 6 inches with isolated snow amounts of 7 to 8 inches through southern Maryland and south of I-66. Temperatures by morning 28 to 32 degrees. 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Now 30 degrees in Ashburn, 30 degrees in Largo, and 30 degrees in Snowing here in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
105.9 FM and meeting worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin. Broadcasting from the underground rainbow. In the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we once again made contact with a leader of Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. I'm not breaking the show into hour segments. We're going to continue where we left off. The Daily Caller, Robert Shamad, Biden-Harris administration. This goes back to September 2024. On track to oversee massive $1 trillion in improper payments. Are any Democrats upset about this? Not in the least. Media? Not at all. It's okay. It's good. The Biden administration will have made over $1 trillion in improper payments from the time Biden leaves office. That's in 4 years, according to a report released by the watchdog group Open the Books. According to some of these federal left-wing judges, close the books because they've created their own legal system. As Bastiat warned, these people, the ruling class, has created its own legal system. An improper payment is a disbursement made by the government to the wrong person in the wrong amount or for the wrong reason, according to federal guidelines. The Biden-Harris administration between 2021 and 2023, that's a 3-year period, oversaw over $800 billion of such payments after adjusting for inflation, according to the report. Donald Trump's taking more heat for trying to expose the fraud and the waste and the abuse and to fix it than those who created it. Have you noticed that? Donald Trump is basically the investigator, the cop, who's under attack for finding all this crooked and corrupt activity going on, because that's what it is, America. It's crooked and corrupt at a level that nothing in the private sector could ever do. The amount of improper payments made by the Biden-Harris administration in 2024 won't be disclosed until after the election. We still don't know exactly. However, it made well aware of $200 billion in erroneous payments each year since it has been in power, according to Open the Books. The Biden-Harris administration will cross the $1 trillion threshold, barring something unprecedented, according to the watchdog. Quote, President Biden and his successors must take more action to address the proliferation of improper payments beyond mere rhetoric. Open the Book's Director of Communications, Christopher Neefus, told the Daily Caller News Foundation, the sheer magnitude of misspent taxpayer dollars is tough to comprehend, he says. Put into perspective, the most recent Pentagon funding bill cost $883 billion. That means the Biden administration will have misspent more than it takes to fund our national defense. Hello? Let's see. Proper spending works out to be roughly $7,500 incorrectly spent each second. According to the Open Books calculations, 2021, now that's 4 years ago, 7.16% of federal disbursements were made improperly, a figure that fell to 5.4% in 2023. Well, yippee-doo, but the amount of money spent in 2023 compared to 2021 is astronomically higher because of, the Inflation Reduction Act, which caused inflation. Proper payments report provided by the federal government are likely underestimates. As the Government Accounting Office points out that Congress hasn't given all federal programs the authority. Listen to this. Congress has not given all federal programs the authority to estimate erroneous payments, and because they're probably fraud schemes that go undetected by federal authorities. Wow, they really don't want it looked at, do they? No, they don't. The plurality of the Biden-Harris administration's erroneous disbursements in 2023 came from the Medicare and Medicare systems, which doled out $101 billion in improper payments that year. Now we know Social Security is $50 to $100 billion. And it goes on. What do you think of that, Americans? What do you think of that? I remember reading on the air here in the past years, GAO reports, Government Accountability Office, of how the federal government, through fraud, waste, and abuse, has misspent or lost $250 billion a year. $250 billion a year. Now the president wants to do something about it, but the people who've been in Washington, this ruling class, wants nothing done about it. Let me be very clear. Let's be crystal clear about this, and let's spread the word from sea to shining sea. The Democrat Party supports every one of these expenditures, all of them. The Democrat Party not only doesn't want to cut any, it wants to increase the spending. The Democrat Party is okay with $100 billion being stolen out of the Social Security system and another $100 billion being stolen out of Medicare and Medicaid. They're okay with that. Just as they were not only okay with, but were the perpetrators of the open border policies that have caused so much havoc in this country in so many ways. Let's be clear about it. It's Democrats who are going to federal judges, to mostly Democrat federal judges, appointed by Democrats, not exclusively, mostly, to try and get everything blocked that they possibly can. It's Democrat Party supporting public sector unions that are bringing several of these lawsuits. So the whole Democrat project, the Democrat machinery of government, the Praetorian Guard of corruption, graft, ripoffs, deceit, plunder. The Praetorian Guard is the Democrat Party, and they're using all their instrumentalities. It's like Israel's surrounded, We're surrounded by the Democrat Party. They're using all of their non-elected elements, the public sector unions, the bureaucrats themselves, the unelected federal judges, everything they can. They've created their own legal system now with these radical left-wing Democrat and Trump-hating judges. As Basquiat warned, and they glorify the supposed morality of what they're doing because they've changed morality to accommodate what they're doing. Our friend Glenn Reynolds, he's a professor, law school at Tennessee, really good guy, libertarian, runs a great site, writes in the New York Post. Democrats have their panties in a wad over the work that Elon Musk and Doge are doing to control government spending. But despite all the hoopla, what's actually going on is straightforward stuff that most people probably but wrongly assumed the government was doing all along. Musk wrote next Saturday that Doge and the Treasury Department have agreed to take the following steps, and he goes into it. All outgoing payments must have a categorization code in order to be paid. That seems rational. I mean, how do you make the payment otherwise? That's supposed to already happen, but Musk has found the code is often left blank, making audits nearly impossible. That's the goal. All payments must have an exclamation attached, another procedure that has been routinely ignored, making it hard to determine what or who federal payments are actually for. So they don't know who the payments are going to because that's not coded in, and what they're actually for because that's not going in. And they want to look into it at Treasury, and then this friggin' moronic activist Democrat federal judge that says, no, you can't do that. Every payment must be checked against an up-to-date do not pay list of known frauds and terrorist groups, deceased people and expenditures that do not match congressional appropriations. That seems rather rational, don't you think? No criminals, no dead people, and no terrorists. The above super obvious and necessary changes are being implemented by existing long-time career government employees, Musk noted. It's ridiculous these roles didn't already exist. Yes, it is. Reynolds goes on. Musk went on to express disbelief that more than $100 billion worth of entitlements every year are going to individuals with no social security number, not even a temporary ID number. He says, when I asked if anyone at Treasury had a rough guess for what percentage of that number is unequivocal and obvious fraud, the consensus in the room was about $50 billion a year, maybe $1 billion a week, maybe $100 billion. Yeah, here and there. It's really quite incredible. Now, the Democrat Party is all for this. You need to understand they're not only the party against the middle class, against people. The Democrat Party, and we'll sanctify this right here. We'll put the marker down. Is the party of waste, fraud, and abuse. That's why they're in the streets. That's why they're saying what they're saying. The Democrat Party, it's official. They're the party of fraud. Not just frauds, which they are, but the party of fraud. They think that money should be taken from you, stolen from you, fraudulently used. It's okay. They wrapped that. I saw one leftist on I think it was on Fox, forget his name. And they'll mention like the 3 great things USAID has ever funded. Oh yeah, medical this, medical that, in order to avoid the tens of billions of dollars in unbelievably outrageous spending. So it's good enough, you see. So if a doctor saves 3 lives, but kills 10 people, that's okay. Just remember the 3 lives he saved. No, not so fast there. No. Slippery, these guys, aren't they? Not really. They're not even good at what they do. So here is really the first comprehensive effort to find out what the hell's going on. And it's under attack. It's like this Caitlin Collins with that constipated look on her face with the single brow that she obviously spends a lot of time plucking, Mr. Reducer. Many legal experts say that we're nearing a constitutional crisis. Yes, many legal experts that we consult to bring on this program, liberal Democrats, they agree with me. Then they bring on this guy, Chris Murphy. It's not fair to call Chris Murphy Caucasian. I think he needs to be called transparent. Don't you, Mr. Producer? We need to have a whole new category. He's a transparent American, and I don't mean a transparent politician. I mean physically he's transparent. You know, as a kid, we used to have aquariums, these fish tanks, and you could see these fish where you could actually see through them. You could see their bones. You ever have those, Mr. Producer, these little ones? That's him. You can actually see into his skull. And what do you see in his skull? What do you see? Cotton candy. That's it. There's nothing there. Christopher Murphy, regular guest on the Sunday shows and any other show you can get on. I'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Working hard is worth it if you're seeing results. And when it comes to working out, the same thing is true. You want the maximum benefit in the time you have, and that's exactly what Tonal is built for. And with their latest iteration, Tonal 2, you can ensure your workout is more tailored and effective than ever. Tonal's at-home strength training system uses adaptive weight to learn from your movement and set the optimal weight for every move, adjusting in 1-pound increments up to 250 pounds, challenging even the most advanced users to push their limits. You can also experience a full-body burn with the new Arrowhit workouts, the perfect blend of heart-pumping cardio and strength. Plus, the new built-in Smart View leverages a high-resolution camera that lets you see yourself during your workout, analyzes your movement, and provides real-time coaching, just like a personal trainer. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code TONAL200. That's Tonal.com and use promo code TONAL200 for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, promo code TONAL200 for $200 off.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather approved seats are available.
Attention taxpayers, the IRS is intensifying collections in 2025. If you owe $10,000 or have unfiled tax returns, it's time to take action. Tax Network USA's experienced lawyers have saved clients over $1 billion. They're ready to negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Don't risk rate losing your home. Call 1-800-278-9000 today. Get the help you need at 1-800-278-9000 or visit tnusa.com.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I'll send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-809-7171. 800-809-7171. Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumer.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Making sense of your world. I agree with everything you're saying. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
What's going on?
Making sense of the news.
On the Chris White Show, the Democrat Party willing to stop at nothing in order to protect their waste, fraud, and abuse. 9 a.m. on WMAL.
Over at MSLSD and the Constipated News Network, Why are these entities still on the air? They have no ratings. Why? Because these multi-billion-dollar international corporatists and corporations. Why? Want them on the air. Why else? Here's the Daily Caller News Foundation. CNN, MSNBC hyped constitutional crisis 200 times since Doge shut down U.S. aid. MSNBC and CNN used the phrase constitutional crisis more than 200 times since February 3rd. Daily Caller News Foundation learned in a keyword search, a footage archive by Arabian News. Why don't you check Arabian, Mr. Producer, see if they have a montage over there somewhere. Great site. Excuse me, I have cholera. Secretary of State Marco Rubio defended the decision to shutter the agency during a February 3 press conference in El Salvador, saying that his concerns about its oversight began when he was in Congress. So now the people who are trying to dig out the corruption, do something about it, reveal it, they're on defense. At least that's the way the media would have it. That's the way the media would have it. We're in a constitutional crisis, my God! No, you're in a crisis, you dumb bastards. Covering your asses, stuffing cash in your pockets, stuffing cash in the pockets of other people. You're in a crisis because you've been exposed. That dirty, rotten, dark underbelly of the United States government. You're it. And half of you bums have been subsidized by the government. Every time Politico writes an article, it should be supposed to say, Politico, paid for by the United States government. MSNBC used the phrase constitutional crisis 141 times since February 3rd, either from a host or a guest, according to their review. CNN used the term only 69 times in that time frame. 57 of those occurrences took place Monday and Tuesday. A pace similar to MSNBC, 68 uses in the same period of time, including in their re-airings of primetime programs. They don't get any ratings. Why are they even re-airing them? But what's the increased usage of the phrase came after Vice President J.D. Vance dared to criticize federal Judge Paul Engelmeyer, who was appointed to the bench by former President Barack Milhouse Benito Obama. Or CNN would call him Osama bin Laden. Remember that one? Engelmeyer issued an injunction at 1 a.m. Saturday barring Doge and political appointees in the Trump administration from accessing the Treasury Department's central payment system. No friggin' judge has any authority of any kind from anywhere except pulling it out of his butt to have issued an order like that. None. Engelmeyer, if that is your name. Yeah. If a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal, Vance posted Saturday night. Correct. If a judge tried to command the attorney general on how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's also illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive branch's legitimate power. That is 100% correct. Oh, it's so controversial. No, it's not. You know, I wrote in Liberty and Tyranny, all the places in which the federal government has monopoly control, or certainly monopoly-like control, I should say. But I would ask you, where in the Constitution do courts have the power to run the executive branch? Where is it? It doesn't exist. In fact, they don't exist, as I discussed yesterday, other than the Supreme Court. But we have separation of powers. We're talking about a president managing his staff, that is, the millions of people, offering them options to leave or to stay, trying to rearrange the bureaucracy, make it more efficient. He's allowed to do those things. He doesn't need the permission of a federal judge. Can you imagine? I can tell you right now, if the men who adopted the Constitution in Philadelphia and the ratifications that took place in the states, if they had thought a federal judge or any federal court of any kind that they had created or sanctified would have this kind of power. There would be no Constitution. There'd be no Article 3. They'd be shocked. In fact, the anti-federalists, one of the areas they were concerned about were these judges. They said it's nebulous. We're not even... And Jefferson, who supported the Constitution, because he was influenced, I think, by Madison at the time, but nonetheless, right out of the box, he said, where do these judges get this power like this? What's this Marbury versus Madison decision? More when I return.
A new president is sworn in. America's greatness is being restored. And there's breaking news every minute. Now, tens of millions of Americans are turning off Fox and CNN and tuning in to Newsmax for the breaking information they really need to know. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top news brands in America. Find it yourself on all major cable systems and on your TV or smartphone store. Just download the Newsmax app for free and start watching. You'll get great shows with Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and Carl Higbee, and more. Find out why millions of Americans have made the switch. Even President Trump says Newsmax is terrific, and he's watching. So make the switch to Newsmax. Check us out on cable and satellite TV, or download the Newsmax app today. Watch us anytime, anywhere. Remember, Newsmax is real news for real people.
GW Parkway, northbound and southbound lanes are closed for driving conditions between Scotland Parkway and the Beltway. On the Beltway in Virginia, inner loop in Springfield, the off-ramp to the Springfield interchange is blocked for a crash. Westbound 66 in Gainesville, the off-ramp 29 is blocked for a crash. On the express lane, southbound in Lorton, disabled vehicle has the right lane blocked between the Lorton exit and Route 1. And in Prince George's County, outer loop of the Beltway in Largo, the exit ramp to Central Avenue is blocked for maintenance. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
A winter storm warnings in effect through 7 tomorrow morning. A total of 3 to 6 inches expected in the immediate DC area, more to the south. Tomorrow, cloudy with a chance of snow, freezing rain, and sleet, highs in the upper 30s.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at NissanUSA.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
Working hard is worth it if you're seeing results. And when it comes to working out, the same thing is true. You want the maximum benefit in the time you have, and that's exactly what Tonal is built for. And with their latest iteration, Tonal 2, you can ensure your workout is more tailored and effective than ever. Tonal's at-home strength training system uses adaptive weight to learn from your movement and set the optimal weight for every move, adjusting in 1-pound increments up to 250 pounds, challenging even the most advanced users to push their limits. You can also experience a full-body burn with the new Arrowhit workouts, the perfect blend of heart-pumping cardio and strength. Plus, the new built-in Smart View leverages a high-resolution camera that lets you see yourself during your workout, analyzes your movement, and provides real-time coaching, just like a personal trainer. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code TONAL200. That's Tonal.com and use promo code TONAL200 for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, promo code TONAL200 for $200 off.
How Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now, this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
YouTube personality Betty Johnson has cracked the code on a new era of newsmaking.
Very controversial, very strong opinions. He speaks truth fearlessly, breaking for nobody.
It's a new cultural landscape.
We're not trying to politicize this. People are primed now, and forgive me, dude, it is what it is. Here's what's going on in your country, bro.
The Benny Show.
Get ready. If this is something that you need to put a little pep in your step. Oh, yeah? Okay.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer.
If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
Blowing out your birthday candles should be easy, but if you have undiagnosed COPD, you may find yourself short of breath. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years to your life. If you have symptoms like wheezing or chronic cough, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience of one. She doesn't boo me. She never will. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org. WMAL.
Falling in love was the last thing I had on my mind. Just a minute or two to settle down, and then we'll get fired up again. Take a listen. This one's called The Baby. I don't know what happened to it, but I like some. Go! You like it too. I've been waiting so long. I love you so lucky they got a video. Doesn't it groove? I feel you know you like that song. Okay, gotta phase it out, baby. The brass knuckles are back on. Now they have another great song I think I'll play next up. What's it called again, Mr. Benici? I don't remember. Everything, something. Every time I think of it, I play that for my wife. And you know what? Valentine's Day is coming up. Oh, yeah. I think it's the 14th. Oh, yes, it is. So the Supreme Court, forget about the Supreme Court. You have these federal district courts. I mentioned this to you last night. I don't know, maybe there's 800 of them, whatever it is. I haven't counted lately. And so you got a judge here and a judge there. But they know to bring these cases, these Democrat attorneys general. They're all working together. And so they bring them in the states and they bring them in the cities where they think they have the best advantage. How many of these cases have been brought in Republican states? Not one.
Hello, not one. They've been brought in Massachusetts. They've been brought in Rhode Island. They've been brought in Washington State. They've been brought in Washington, D.C. Isn't that amazing? The legal profession has destroyed any respect it may have had before. You know, ambulance chasing now is viewed as more respectful than being a Democrat hack lawyer. Did you know this? I joke about slip and fall lawyers, you know, because you go in Florida, you hear these commercials, you see the billboards, they're all slip and fall. They got all these slip and fall lawyers. Frank recovered $1 billion. Hey! And they're like inbreds. There's the father with the son, and then it's the second cousin twice removed. They're on the billboard. They have the same haircuts. They wear the same kind of suits, or they're on TV. Morgan and Morgan. This guy wants to run for governor of Florida. Complete joke. But he spends a fortune on these commercials because I guess that's how you get around the campaign laws. I don't know about Morgan and Morgan. Slip and fall, right, Morgan? And Morgan? Which one's the first Morgan and which one? And by the way, this guy Morgan of Morgan and Morgan used to be a fat slob. No offense intended. Used to be a fat slob on TV. Now he's trimmed down. He's getting ready. Wants to run as an independent, I hear, even though he's a Democrat. But he's good at what he does, ladies and gentlemen. Been in a car accident? Morgan and Morgan. There's nobody like Morgan and Morgan. I'm not off topic. Stick with me. Worse than the lawyers, worse than the ambulance chasing slip and fall lawyers are now the ambulance chasing slip and fall judges. That is, the former ambulance chasing slip and fall lawyers, now they get special haircuts, they put on a black robe, they keep their pants on, at least we think they do. There they are in the courtroom, and what do you have? A slip and fall ambulance chasing lawyer dressed up as a judge. Lindsey Graham voted for most of them. I really believe that the president should be... Shut up. At least once. I like you, but just be quiet. Anyway, so there they are. They're all over the federal judiciary. And so then you have these attorneys general in these states. Most of these guys, you know, they were like C- students in law school. Not particularly bright. That's right. I mean, look at Letitia James. Do they get any stupider than her? No, they don't. But there they are, bringing the cases, and they're really tough cases, you know, bringing cases to their favorite Democrat courtrooms. And then we have what I call, as you know, the Potemkin courthouse. It's a pretend. The whole thing's a pretend. Like the Potemkin villages that the East Germans used to set up when people used to come compare West Germany. Look over here. Oh, really? The Russians. They create this fake village. You know, you can't go more than a mile into the country. See this? We have nice housing. We have cattle. We have that. I remember I was a kid. I was a teenager. So on one of these trips, and there were a handful of us. We were on a bus, and they take us through the Brandenburg Gate. It's Berlin, but it's the East German side of Berlin, and we're in there. And we're in there, and so I'm you know, a little rambunctious. They take us to the same place to get something to eat, you know, like half a piece of bread and dirty water. And I bought this doll that I still have. It's behind me here. Look at this. We have these products you can purchase. It looks like some poor kid in slavery with tiny hands stitched this thing together. It's terrible. So I said to the East German handler, who was the tour guide on the bus, can we go like 5 miles inside your country? And her eyes almost popped out of her ears. It was unbelievable. Excuse me. You the Jew? Sit down in the back there. Sit down. No, I'm just.
Yo, Colin, I see what you posted. Hey, Colin, why do you block me and post shit? I see your post. You want to come up, Colin, and talk to me, boy? You got the fucking nads to come up here and talk to me, Colin? Why don't you come up here and say it to my face? Come on. Come on up, Colin. Here's my link. Click on my link. Come on up. I want to talk to you. You got something to say, obviously, so come on. You're one of the reasons why I'm here. Come on up and educate me, you drunk fucker.
Federal government, he's decided to put a freeze on the severance program that's been offered by President Trump. So he's running human resources. They got another federal judge who's in data processing now because he's over at the Treasury Department. No, you can't have access to this information.
Weak, Colin. Very, very weak.
And you know what he says this time? He's such a clown. It's one thing if you find fraud and you want to conduct an investigation. It's another thing to conduct an investigation for fraud. Where did this schmuck come from? That's the Treasury guy. So now we have a judge running data processing. Then we have another judge running our federal prisons. This would be Lambert. You know, we only have 16 transgender prisoners in our entire federal system. So why are you interfering? Well, significant due process and constitutional issues.
See, this is how stupid you are, Colin. You got a screenshot of what? What are you going to do, Colin? What the fuck are you going to do to me, Colin? You got a screenshot of what? What are you going to do? Report me to Google? YouTube? You're going to report me to YouTube and say someone being mean to you, Colin? Are you feelings hurt tonight, Colin? You know, Colin, I think you and Bud Noble should get together. You guys are a perfect pair. You two should be fucking married tonight. Go to Vegas. You ain't going to show anything. Here, I'll put the link down. You come up and show me. Okay? This is your best opportunity because you're not going to see me on JC's ever again. Not unless she formally invites me. Because I'm not going there. Not going to Wiggins either. I might spy. But I'm going to stay away from Wiggins best I can. If he wants to troll me, he go right ahead. Do something, Colin. Here I'm sitting right here. I turned the news down. Come on. Come on, Colin. Be a man. Step up. Come up, talk to Billy one-on-one. Huh? How many other Americans have you met? Come on, Colin. Don't run. There's the link. Click on it. Come on. Why are you chicken? Why are you in my chat then? Why are you coming in post? Why you talking? Why do you block and then talk about me behind my back? Just as Tiffany's saying about Mina. That's what it was. Yeah, you made a comment to Mina about me, didn't you? Click on my link, Colin. Be a man. Come up and say it to my face. I'm sitting right here. Bring Paul Bitch Life with you. Come on. Bring rum. You know, there's you and 4 other of you fucking British fucks. Come on up. Come on up. You go up on JC's. She let you up there and you guys attack everybody. Come on. Chicken shit, motherfucker.
Constitution says? I don't think so. Americans, many of you still have kitchen table issues. A lot of people are carrying big credit card debt. They're charging 20-30% in interest. It's absolutely usury. Well, get rid of them. If you own a home, you can get rid of them. And you can replace 20-30% interest with 5.5-6%. And $10,000 in that interest is tax deductible every single year off your federal income taxes. Not so with credit card interest. You need to call my friends at American Financing. They're the best of the best. They're an entrepreneurial company. They've been around 25 years, family owned, top rated. I've used them, Mr. Producer. My daughters use them. Very happy with them. American Financing's salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you to tap into their home's equity to get out of high interest debt, to get out of this debt cycle. They're saving their average customer around $800 a month. That's around $10,000 a year. Saving that kind of money every month, that should make this decision about as easy as it gets. All it takes is a no pressure, no obligation, confidential 10-minute call. That's it, to find out how much you can save. You go through your numbers, they'll tell you how much you can save. And if you start today, you might be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. This is your money. It's just a matter of how you use it. And they'll show you how to do it. So call American Financing right now. They're there today. 888-900-1828. Hello. Hello. 888-900-1828. You need to call them. They don't have your number. 800. Excuse me. That's right. 888-900-1828. Or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
We shall return.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts will be available with TurboTax Live.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's disease research program is paving the way for a cure. Learn about symptoms, diagnosis, and breakthrough research at brightfocus.org or call us at 1-855-345-6237 for free resources.
If you're listening to sports,
You're looking for edge rusher, you're looking for a run stopper, you're looking for a big time player in the middle of venture and luck. Like with pop culture, sprinkled with celebrity interviews, you needed the title Everybody Loves Raymond. That's true. Is it appropriate for you to tell people to hurry it up? It's appropriate on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Bill Burr is here. Who you defeated to get that title? It's best dad ever. I'm on Saga Tads. You're enjoying the Rich Eisen Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform. Making sense of your money, state of the economy, the ability to afford your life. That's what people want. It's holidays. Weekdays, 3 to 6 p.m. The kind of thing I pay attention to. I'm looking at News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. Every day, men and women of the States Marine Corps. Again, we married with you, proud. No one knows music like Rolling Stone. Singer-writer Brian Hikes talks the biggest music news from the biggest stars from the city. So there's a whole lot to talk about. Your song did you originally intended for Beyonce? It really gets from me in the beginning. Okay. Take us through the life story of the Notorious B.I.G. You're this 14-year-old kid who feels like a prodigy. We're also supposed to have an interview with Ghostface Killer, but posted on this, which I guess is appropriate. Rolling Stone music now. Follow and listen on your favorite platform. Making sense of your morning. Lots of coverage here on that developing story. O'Connor and Company, weekday mornings from 5 to 9. Larry O'Connor here getting you through your morning, making sense of Washington. Asking some very specific questions, some legitimate questions. Making sense of the double standard. And here's the latest example. Making sense of the headlines. Let me break it down, because there's plenty to break down here. O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Mornings from 5 to 9. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Searching HVAC near here.
I hear you. Oh,
Wow, nobody local? Huh.
wait, what? We are an HVAC company, literally in your neighborhood. I used to be seeing that.
Just all the big chain. Well, it is what it is.
Can you not see us?
Nope, they can't see you because you're buried deep in the list of local HVAC providers. You are invisible online. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Learn more at cumulusboost.com.
When I first learned about the basics of estate planning, it was driven home to me the importance of protecting my family. We all know about creating a will or building a trust, but what people don't know about are how documents can be misconstrued if not properly done. You don't want to leave your assets vulnerable to the government's decisions. That's why I recommend Trust and Will. Be prepared. Protect your family by managing your will or trust online. Trustandwill.com. Use code MARK. You'll get 10% off at trustandwill.com. Code MARK.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service and it's not a law firm. See trustandwill.com for details.
the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
Oh, it's awful, huh?
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com. Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male. Billed monthly. Making sense of your world. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. They're making sense of the news. The Vince Colonnade Show, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Remember, folks, we have a fantastic podcast platforms. Show.com. That's the mothership. Click on audio rewind and select your favorite platform. If you already have a favorite platform, just search Mark Levin Show on your favorite podcast. Now you can also find all my full podcast interviews, specials right now on our YouTube channel. That's right. We got a YouTube channel. YouTube.com at Mark Levin Show, or just search Mark Levin Show on YouTube. It's so easy. We also have Sirius Satellite. Mark Levin app. We've got iHeartRadio app. We're all over the damn place. There's no getting away from me. Are you looking for a voice that truly represents your values? AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, was created for you. Champion the voice that needs patriotic Americans who believe in family, faith, freedom, and country. Members gain access to incredible member benefits and discounts, folks. It's just unbelievable. Travel, insurance, rentals, everyday services that you need and use. You also you get access to an award-winning AMAC magazine. It's filled with all kinds of fantastic information. They have their own little news site. Those concierge services, what I call it, on Social Security and Medicare. If you have some macro type questions, it's just fantastic. And of course, they're a strong voice for conservatism in Washington, D.C. Joining AMAC isn't just about benefits, although that's crucial. And you don't have to be a senior to do it. You can be any age. It's about belonging to a community that stands for timeless American values. In honor of President Trump's first 100 days in office, the Association of Mature American Citizens, listen to this, is offering an incredible deal. Enroll in a 5-year AMAC membership for 47% off. Normally it's $60. Join right now. It's $32. $32, that comes to $7 a year. That's less than $1 a month. And just one use of the benefits and discounts will more than pay for the $32. I'm telling you, this is the best deal you'll ever get. I want you to visit amac.us/Levin, amac.us/Levin. Go there right now. Take advantage of this special offer. These offers only last a limited time. How do I know? Because they've been with us for years. That's AMAC, amac.us/Levin. Join AMAC. Get the benefits and discounts. They're unbelievable. Join the movement. And they stand with you and your family and your future. And together. There's more. The power hour is what I call hour 3. It's a crucial hour. Reuters, Trump rolls back standards for warnings. He's undone the Biden standards, thank God. So when you actually flush a toilet, it works, Mr. Burns. I'm not going to get into it, but how many problems have you had with a flush toilet that doesn't actually flush the water? You keep flushing it and flushing it and flushing. Mr. Producer, you use more water, don't you? Or what about a shower? When you take a shower, you step on. Wait a minute, what was that? You feel like your dog just lifted its leg on you. It's not a shower. And I go through the whole thing. I might. Depends what kind of mood I'm in. We'll be right back.
Thank you for what you do.
Making sense of the news. And the refund, but you can do more with it. Right in Credit Karma. Stop it. It's taxes. intimate credit card limit TurboTax.
Your life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Women giving birth to triplets or quadruplets or even more. It's far less common today than it was a few decades ago. That's according to the National Center for Statistics. Change for patients using IVF. The guidance now is that really only one embryo should be transferred at a time. Part of the reason is that embryology labs have advanced over the years. That allows them to grow embryos longer than they used to be able to years ago. There's also this additional testing available. That can give more information about the health of the embryo before implantation. But keep in mind, a singleton pregnancy really is the healthiest option for both the person and the baby. Multiples raise the risk of preeclampsia, preterm birth, low birth weight, and infant mortality. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
What secrets do the top athletes have to put them above their competition? Find out on the Ed Milet Show.
What's the difference between Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or Steph Curry? They're always doing extra.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. Don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation, but then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof. While the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at NissanUSA.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather seats are available features.
Media station, making sense of the news.
I'm Lisa Lucero, Fox News. A key Arab ally is not on board with President Trump's plan to take in millions of Palestinians if the U.S. takes over Gaza.
Jordan's King Abdullah says his country is taking in 2,000 children from Gaza in need of medical care, but is not signing off on a proposal from President Trump for nearly 2 million Palestinians to resettle Jordan, Egypt, and other countries in the region.
I think the point is how to make this work in a way that is good for everybody. Right. Obviously, we have to look at the best interests of the United States, of the people in the region, especially to my people of Jordan.
Abdullah says Saudi Arabia is hosting a summit with Egypt and other regional partners on a proposal to respond to President Trump's plan for a U.S. takeover of Gaza.
Fox's Jared Help with the White House in apparent agreement with President Trump's comments yesterday. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu threatening to resume fighting Hamas if all the hostages are not released by noon Saturday.
He's no problem, Pat.
Hostages for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in a series of exchanges. 73 are still in captivity. Under half dead by Israel.
That's Jonathan Savage, the Inspector General for the U.S. Agency for International Development, has been fired by the White House the day after the IG's office warned that the Trump administration's dismantling of USAID had made it all but impossible to monitor more than $8 billion in humanitarian funds. That's according to the Associated Press. American teacher Mark Fogel, released from a Russian prison earlier today, will be greeted by President Trump later tonight at the White House. The president was asked what the U.S. gave to Russia in exchange for its release.
They were very nice, treated very nicely by Russia, actually.
National Security Advisor Mike Waltz said the U.S. and Russia negotiated an exchange but didn't give detail. America's listening to Fox News.
More white stuff on tap. I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. Snow continues falling in the DMV. A winter storm warning is in effect tomorrow morning at 7. 7 News meteorologist Veronica Johnson.
That snow looks like it'll wrap up around midnight to 2 a.m. Wednesday. We'll get a quick 3 to 6 inches of heavy wet snow around D.C. Metro.
With Maryland's northernmost counties getting about 2 to 4 inches, areas south and southwest of D.C. could see up to 8 inches of snow. Coming soon, we're told President Trump will be aiming at D.C. with his executive order citing Penn.
Tippy-top, we say, tippy-top. We want them to be tippy-top. Well, our capital is the opposite of tippy-top. It's a
House.
Any day now, the president's expected to sign an executive order to clean D.C. of crime, homeless camps, and graffiti, according to the Post. This as a bill in Congress aims to revoke home rule. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan says it's clear D.C. has problems.
But, Congress's track record of handling things isn't exactly the best either. So I do think there needs to be a little more oversight.
As for revoking home rule, Jordan will only say to WMAL's O'Connor and Company, it's a debate worth having. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Governor Glenn Youngkin signs an executive order today banning the use of China's DeepSeek AI on state-issued devices and state-run networks, saying it poses a threat to the security and safety of Virginians. He says the state's IT infrastructure has vital personal data, including tax data and health records. Researchers found that DeepSeek is code capable of transmitting user login information to a Chinese state-owned telecom company banned from operating in the U.S. due to national security concerns. And good news, all of the runways at Reagan National are now open again. 2 have been closed following the deadly crash between an American Airlines jet and a Black Hawk helicopter. WMAL News Time is 8:04. I'm Sharon Reardon, and now here's your WMAL traffic and weather from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Starting with the Beltway, Maryland side, no crashes in Prince George's County or in Montgomery County. Now into Virginia on the Beltway. There isn't any crashes on the inner loop or on the outer loop. 66, lanes are clear, eastbound and westbound. On 95 southbound in the express lanes in Lorton, disabled vehicle, the right lane blocked between the Lorton exit and Route 1. And in DC, no problems on 295, 395, or 695. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
A winter storm warnings in effect through 7 tomorrow morning. A total of 3 to 6 inches expected in the immediate DC area, more to the south. Tomorrow, cloudy with a chance of snow, freezing rain, and sleet, highs in the upper 30s.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at NissanUSA.com. Panoramic moonroof, massaging leather, printed seats are available features.
Working hard is worth it if you're seeing results. And when it comes to working out, the same thing is true. You want the maximum benefit in the time you have, and that's exactly what Tonal is built for. And with their latest iteration, Tonal 2, you can ensure your workout is more tailored and effective than ever. Tonal's at-home strength training system uses adaptive weight to learn from your movement and set the optimal weight for every move, adjusting in 1 pound increments up to 250 pounds, challenging even the most advanced users to push their limits. You can also experience a full body burn with the new Arrowhit workout, a perfect blend of heart pumping cardio and strength. Plus, the new built-in Smart View leverages a high resolution camera that lets you see yourself during your workout, analyzes your movement, and provides real-time coaching, just like a personal trainer. Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code Tonal.com and use promo code Tonal200 for $200 off your purchase. That's Tonal.com, promo code Tonal200 for $200 off.
105.9 FM and tweeting worldwide on the WMAL app. Rick Levin.
In here during our power hour, 877-381-3811. Larry Summers is quoted a lot, not by me, failed economist who's worked for Democrats. I think it was Clinton. He was also the head, I think, of Harvard till they chased him out. The left chased him out. But I want you to listen to this genius, and there's many geniuses to follow. He's on CNN. So CNN, MSNBC, they are a barrage of attacks. The effort to expose the corruption and fraud, on an effort to deal with the corruption and fraud, on an effort to downsize this massive government and the workforce and to hold people accountable and responsible. Academia, the media, the Democrats, all in one voice. Cut 11, go.
Look, I am not saying there isn't a objective here that...
Don't you love the affectation? The guy sounds like he's burping up a dog or something. He was so smart. Yes. Get to your point, you idiot. Go ahead.
But when we allow a complete
little carrot
breakdown of what have been traditions.
Like
for
what?
Who get appointed to jobs in terms of politicized people.
All right, hold on a second. First of all, I think he's out of it. Yes, the jobs in terms of politicized people. What does that mean? Can somebody interpret that? There are 3,300 political positions. You're allowed to appoint political people to political positions. He's talking about all these career positions. But over the course of the decades, as a result of him, his party, and his ilk, the bureaucracy's ballooned up into an unmanageable mess. And so what Trump and his people are saying, I need more people than 3,300 people to manage 2.5 million civilian employees. I can't do that. I can't do that. They're saying making the norm here. The norms, the ruling class norms. You understand? Folks, I'm not kidding about this. That's their norms. That's their legal system. That's their so-called moral system, which is utterly unethical and immoral. They've created their own system, their own language, that whole damn thing. Let's listen in some more. Go ahead.
That federal judges are calling direct violations of their orders, something that really didn't happen.
Let me help her out, Larry. One federal judge, I believe it was Austin. Don't sound like Foster Brooks, an old comedian that used to be pretend he was a drunk. Today you couldn't do that. I mean, I watch these things. Like Don Rickles. Don Rickles would be nowhere today. Couldn't be Don Rickles. Couldn't be Foster Brooks. All the great comedians, they wouldn't exist. Just saying. And so that's why I have all this schlock on at nighttime, these phony comedians. They all have to basically, they're like a chorus line of transitioning men. And they got to do what the left says, but saying that. Anyway, so this Larry Summers says violating court orders. One judge puts out a temporary restraining order. He says they're not acting fast enough. They didn't stop. Told them to stop. That's not violating a court order, no matter even if the judge says it is. The president said today, we get a court order, I'm going to comply with it, but I'm going to appeal it. That's worse than Nixon. Everything's worse than Nixon. How about worse than Biden? Hello, Biden. I'll get to him in a minute, even though I don't want to upset your dinner. Go ahead.
Even under President Nixon, who was...
No, shut up. I don't even want to listen to you. All these old has-beens are just... Anybody remember court order violations? Let's see, I have one right here. Biden's student loan boast. The Supreme Court didn't stop me. President ignores the law again as he forgives more student loan debt. Tens of millions of dollars. And that wasn't like Watergate. That wasn't a constitutional crisis, was it, Caitlin Collins? By the way, wipe that stupid look off your face. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Nobody seems to be upset about that. Here's another one. The Hill, Biden calls on employers to mandate vaccines despite Supreme Court ruling he can't. And what's wrong with that? It's okay. He's a man. It's Trump's attack, And there were others. Of course, the direct assault on the independence of the court and individual judges by Schumer, Biden, and their ilk. That's okay, but Trump's the problem. Yeah, that's right. He's the problem, brother. Thank you, Larry, for your input. Or is it your output? Or do you know what your input and your output are? It doesn't really matter. Then we have Representative Jasmine Crockett. Now, this woman is a head case certified, which is why she bounces around cable TV all the time. She bounces around cable TV more than Chris Wallace did. She's everywhere. And she's a doofus. And you see, if they're not attacking public enemy number one in their view, Trump, they're attacking public enemy number two, Musk. You see, because he's a crook. Here's a guy who's worth more than 12 states. And you see, he's in it for the money. He's in it for the money. Now, who's making the money off all this? The Democrats, the leftists, the communists, the Islamists. So she's attacking him.
So we got to tear down. You see, Musk. Oh, did you see the way he waved? He must be a Nazi. Yeah. So Netanyahu, the head of the Jewish state, says, no, he's not. He came here. He was support. Oh, yes, he is. Says the left-wing goons who hate the state of Israel. That's right. That's right. We've got to save we have Maxine Dexter. Who the hell is that? Democrat of Oregon. Donald Norcross. Who the heck? He's been around forever. Democrat, New Jersey. And Mark Pocan, Democrat of Wisconsin. A very, very wide representation of the radical hard left. There they are today. Rallying with with AFSCME. And with Schakowsky, whose husband I think was indicted on 400 charges for something at one point. Broad representation of the Marxist Islamist left. And there they are. Save the civil service. F Trump. See, ladies and gentlemen, the ruling class is rising up against us. That's what it is. Got Maxine Waters roaming around out there like a homeless lady. Screaming at the top of her lungs, telling us, well, you bring your ass over here. Why don't you shut up, old lady, and go the hell home? Just shut up. Then you have Anna Presley. Musk needs to keep his greedy, grabbing hands off our government. See, it's their government. Listen to me. She actually said the truth. Keep your hands off our government. Not the people's government, our government. Says Anna Presley. Then we have Ron Wyden. This guy's a freak, if there ever was one. Guy's like 8 feet tall. He's got that weird look on his face. He's got the pigmentation, may I say, and I will say, because pigmentation's in now. He's got the pigmentation of Chris Murphy of Connecticut. Basically of a ghost. And what does Ron Wyden have to say? I'm not playing all this crap for you. Musk is subverting the Constitution. These are elements of a coup. There's a coup against the ruling class. That's what's upsetting them. That there is. We're subverting the ruling class. And we should. And we must. I'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
LifeLock, during tax season, your sensitive info, does a lot of traveling to places you can't control, stopping off at payroll, your accountant or a tax preparer, and countless other data centers on its way to the IRS. Any of them can expose you to identity theft because they all have the info in your W-2. Just a ticket for criminals to steal your identity. I had my identity stolen. It was horrible. I got LifeLock. I've been a customer ever since. I've never, ever had that problem again. No wonder the IRS reported tax fraud due to identity theft went up 20% last year. Get LifeLock today. Don't get your identity stolen. They monitor millions of data points per second and alert you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, backed by the $1 million protection package. Restoration's guaranteed or your money back. Don't mess around with this stuff. I dealt with this for a long time before I had LifeLock. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Get LifeLock protection for tax season and beyond. Join now, save up to 40% for your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock, use promo code Bongino, or go to lifelock.com/Bongino for 40% off. Terms apply. Do it today.
Now taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live. Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is here it is.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Listen to this, would you?
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world on the go.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archive, all with the new WMAL app. This is for you. Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and stay connected.
Searching HVAC near here.
Here, ma'am. How can we help?
Wow, nobody local? Huh.
Wait, what? We are an HVAC company literally in your neighborhood. Why is he not seeing us?
Just all the big chain. Well, it is what it is.
What in the... Can you not see us?
Nope, they can't see you because you're buried deep in the list of local HVAC providers. You are invisible online. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Get a boost, get found, get on the map. Learn more at cumulusboost.com.
New president is sworn in. America's greatness is being restored. And there's breaking news every minute. Now, tens of millions of Americans are turning off Fox and CNN and tuning in to Newsmax for the breaking information they really need to know. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top news brands in America. Find it yourself on all major cable systems and on your TV or smartphone store. Just download the Newsmax app for free and start watching. You'll get great shows with Rob Schmidt, Greta Van Susteren, Rob Finnerty, and Carl Higbee, and more. Find out why millions of Americans have made the switch. Even President Trump says Newsmax is terrific, and he's watching. So make the switch to Newsmax. Check us out on cable and satellite TV or download the Newsmax app today. Watch us anytime, anywhere. Remember, Newsmax is real news for real people.
Making sense of your world. I can't believe this. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
So, with you.
Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of the economy. Because it's your money and your retirement. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Oh, the other phone. It's for my wife.
And
Here we go.
I thought you.
Then we're getting to it. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. I haven't lost my plate. Just relax. Actually, the input is marked. You like the song. So here we go.
I love this song.
But I don't stand it down. Let me know. Don't you look around. We'll never have it. Let me know.
Come on. Come on.
Hold up. Who I am, what can I tell you? The nature of the beast. No, I wasn't all the constitutionalists on MSLSD and CNN over at the New York Slimes and the Washington Compost. I want to remind Caitlin Collins, the eyebrow. I want to remind the Democrats in Congress. Wall Street Journal, the president, that would be Biden, ignores the law again. He forgives more student debt. The total now, $138 billion. I think he got it up to $400 billion. American presidents may not like Supreme Court decisions, but most since Andrew Jackson haven't bragged about defying its rulings, not even Donald Trump, they say. See, the Washington Post editorial page, they've never liked Trump because they have a big role in the ruling class. So every now and then they have a good editorial, so I'll read it. Then there's President Biden, who, while canceling more student debt this week, boasted about ignoring Supreme Court's landmark 2023 ruling that his previous loan forgiveness plan was illegal. Hey, what's Larry Summers have to say about that one? I really not. Shut up, idiot. Wow. There's more? The Hill, a quasi-newspaper by Alex Giangatano. President Biden appealed to states and companies to require people to get vaccinated against the coronavirus, despite the Supreme Court blocking his vaccine or test mandate for large employers. Remember, he said, well, under OSHA, I can do this. And this court said, no, you can't, you dim-witted. No, you can't. He does it anyway. Hands out hundreds of billions of dollars in student loan forgiveness. That's your tax dollars, America. Mandates vaccines for people he cannot mandate vaccines for. Hey, that's okay. That's Joe. And he's defying a Supreme Court decision, not once, but twice. Trump has complied with all these left-wing Democrat-appointed Trump-hating federal judges, cherry-picked by left-wing Democrat attorneys general who hate Trump. But there is a constitutional crisis is on our midst because he's daring to manage the bureaucracy. You're not allowed to do that. We've created this massive infrastructure. You can't touch it. It's unconstitutional. Again, I remind you, the same people who hate the Constitution, the same people a few years back telling us why it's a white, racist, plantation-owning, slave-owning document. How many times did they bring that idiot on from The Nation? I can't remember the guy, Professor Michael what's-his-ass. I forget his name. Eli something? Sounds about right. Guy's a complete schmuck, but nonetheless, there he is. You got Joy Reid, who's anything but joyous. Apparently doesn't read, so I don't know. But anyway, Ellie Mistel. Yes, Ellie. Ellie, we hardly knew you. Anyway, so they bring these people on, trash the Constitution, trash the barriers, trash the Electoral College, trash the Supreme Court, trash it, trash. Now they're waving it around. We're in a constitutional crisis. Constitutional crisis. Because Trump wants to stop spending money on condoms for some third world country. Because he wants to run the personnel shop in the federal bureaucracy. He wants to offer severance. He wants to restructure USA. Oh my God! Can't do that. It's unconstitutional. So you have these entities that are not even in the Constitution, these lower courts, the bureaucracy, the inspectors general who've done such a fabulous job in protecting the ruling class and all the graft. They're all coming out against this. Listen to me carefully. The people coming out against this, that is what Trump's doing, are for the fraud, the graft. They're for it all. None of them are saying this should have been slashed. None of them are saying, what are we paying for condoms for? I mean, here on Capitol Hill, we have to pay for them ourselves. Get the point? The media The politicians, they're putting a scarlet letter on their own foreheads. They're digging their own political graves. They are defending Washington graft. They are defending Washington corruption. They're defending the ripping off of you, the American people. They are defending the spending of your hard-earned money overseas for these crazy-ass projects. And now they're afraid, we're going to shut down the government unless we continue to expand the government. Wait, what? Let me get this straight. You're for the government and the employees, but you're going to shut down the government? Huh? You said what? I'll be right back. In today's digital age, where cyber threats loom larger than ever, safeguarding your personal information is paramount. So why is Congress considering a law that could put your credit card data at greater risk of being hacked and exposed to foreign networks? This Durbin-Marshall credit card bill could jeopardize your financial data, make it more susceptible to cyber intrusions. It's a controversial bill that proposes a shift in billions of dollars worth of consumer transactions to payment networks that lack the robust security measures consumers rely on. Who could possibly want that? Well, the answer, woke corporate megastores seeking to inflate their multi-billion-dollar profit margins. The Durbin-Marshall credit card bill will undermine our safe and convenient payment systems and endanger your data security. It's time to take a stand. Visit electronicpaymentscoalition.org. Make your voice heard. Tell your senators to oppose the radical Durbin-Marshall credit card bill, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
LifeLock, during tax season, your sensitive info, does a lot of traveling to places you can't control, stopping off at payroll, your accountant or a tax preparer, and countless other data centers on its way to the IRS. Any of them can expose you to identity theft because they all have the info in your W-2. Just a ticket for criminals to steal your identity. I had my identity stolen. It was horrible. I got LifeLock. I've been a customer ever since. I've never, ever had that problem again. No wonder the IRS reported tax fraud due to identity theft went up 20% last year. Get LifeLock today. Don't get your identity stolen. They monitor millions of data points per second and alert you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it, backed by the $1 million protection package. Restoration's guaranteed or your money back. Don't mess around with this thing. I dealt with this for a long time. Take you for a ride. LifeLock protection. Save up to 40%.
Oh, that account is December 2023. So that's a screenshot of fucking B. What the fuck is this? That's funny. There's no subscribers. But it says join December 4, 2023. I don't think CB is here. She ain't gonna come here again. Not without the fucking crew. What the fuck? CB, somebody's trolling you. My meter reads 4. I was hoping he'd play that Joyanne Reed clip. It's fucking funny. They got pranked so bad, it's pathetic. That was funny.
Should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurs. Deeper life.
Series from Imperative Entertainment in the Red Club. Or it's said and done. More than 50 people.
Most notorious man you've never heard of. Following us in on your favorite platform.
Making sense of Washington. So what happened again? Is that what you're talking about? This program, it's Colonnade, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. All of the guests who have appeared in the program. Vince Colonnade, 6 p.m. Stop 105.9. 2 cents of the news. Former U.S. Navy SEAL Sean Ryan captures real stories of sacrifice and strength. A lot of people still going. So I think that they were much interested. Some are saying, the Sean Ryan Show on your making sense of your radio is where I'm getting on the news on 105.9 WKAM. Making sense of the news. Washington's best way to wake up. Culinary Company with Larry O'Connor. Recordings from 5 to 9 on WMAL. The voice of reason is the lunacy. Mark event. Dial them now. 877-381-3811.
Yeah, my buddy Stephen A. Smith has to be one of the greatest marketeers ever. Maybe the Shamwell guy. I think that's Shamwell. Better than, who was the other guy? I don't know. Yeah. He's got people thinking he's running for president of the United States in the Democrat Party. He's trying to say they're filled with schmucks. Nobody's stepping up who's any good. That's what he's trying to say. And you're saying stupid things he's saying to them. You got to say something, if you're going to win, I can beat any of them. So you're like, whoa, he may run for president. He's not running for anything. Now, me, I may be running from something one day, Mr. Producer. I may be running from, the Democrat Party. If they controlled, the FBI, they'd probably be running from them too, but for something new. But it is fun. He makes a good point. Wish he wouldn't make the point. Let the Democrats time the bomb. They need to time. But with the best one they had, there are no best ones. That's the problem. Now, Stephen A.'s a sports guy. He should know, that there's these phony teams that are out there. Fake teams. What was it, the Washington Generals all the time? They're the Washington Generals, the Democrat Party. It's the Washington Generals. Up against the Globetrotters. Actually, by the way, great basketball players. Some of them went into the pros. History of that team who founded it. One of us founded it. I was founded it. It's actually genius. I don't even know if they're around it. But the Washington Generals, they're there just to, just to have bodies on the court. Well, that's the Democrat Party today. And from my perspective, that's a good thing. It's not about the best guy running. It's their ideology. It's the party's ideology. That's what they stand for. They stand for radicalism. That doesn't mean every Democrat does, but the Democrat machinery stands for radicalism. Look, they can't even criticize what the hell's going on right now in U.S. aid. It should be called U.S. condoms at this point. U.S. condoms? Who needs condoms? You need them over there in Uruguay? Okay, guys, we got condoms everywhere. Yeah, and the Democrats support it all. And not just that, but the massive waste and abuse. I run across these people and say, Mark, you're just a little too conservative. I picked the best candidate. Why don't you get the hell off the sidelines and talk about what's going on now? If you're a quote-unquote moderate Democrat. This isn't about a constitution crisis. Trump isn't doing anything unconstitutional. I'm the Constitution man. I know. There's a statute. He has to comply with the statutes. He said as much, but there's not a statute that prevents him from offering severance. There's not a statute that prevents him from finding out what the hell's going over
at Social Security, the Treasury Department? The hell, he doesn't have to go to a federal judge to have permission to run his damn branch of the government. Some slip and fall lawyer in a black robe, ordering a car, After more than a year of war, terror, and pain in Israel, there's still a great demand for basic humanitarian aid. The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews has supported and continues to support those in the Holy Land, still facing the lingering horrors of war and those who are in desperate need right now. Your ongoing gift, which is tax deductible, of $45, provide critically needed aid immediately on the ground to communities that have been slammed by these butchers, north and south in Israel, devastated. The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews will deliver help to those in need, including evacuees and refugees from war-torn areas, first responders and volunteers, wounded soldiers, elderly Holocaust survivors, families who've lost everything, and many, many more. You're providing hope, and more than hope, basic necessities to help these people. It's a blessing. You're a blessing. Give a gift to bless Israel as well. Give them a call, 844-866-IFCJ. That's 844-866-IFCJ, 844-866-IFCJ. Here we have a pastor called Stephen Caudle, or whatever, Caudle. A Tennessee preacher on Sunday of all days. I don't care what a Tennessee preacher says on Sunday, whatever. No, we care. Cut 12, go.
And in this nation, I'm worried that we are on the verge of bloodshed. This is an attempt to take us back to a day that we do not want to go. We will not go. Therefore, there will be conflict.
What is he talking about? Trying to address the corruption in the federal government. What day are we talking? Honest to God. Doesn't everybody pay taxes? Well, not everybody, but doesn't every community pay taxes? White, black, green, yellow? Yes. Isn't it important that the taxes not go to fraudsters or radical left-wing agendas or any political agendas? So what is this violence stuff? We don't want to go back to what? What are you talking about, man? You even know what the hell you're talking? It's like these judges in black robes. These guys that get up, these preachers, some of them are fantastic. I know them. Fantastic. But some of them are quacks like everybody else. No offense. There's rabbis who are quacks too. There's quacks. There's quacks in everything. Everything. Believe it or not, there's quacks in talk radio. Did you know that, Mr. Dennis? Oh, yeah. Oh. But anyway, what's he talking about? Does he know what he's talking about? But he's preaching violence. Go ahead.
So God will win out and overcome the madness that is attempting to take over this nation. But I will say to you, beloved, no one likes violence. Sometimes violence is necessary. But Elon Musk forces his way into the United States to steal your personal information and your social security.
Hold on there, brother. Hold on, pal. He's not threatening to steal your personal information. What the hell are you? You're watching MSLSD too much there, Reverend. And where did you get your Reverend hood from? I'm just curious. A box of Wheaties? Where'd you get it from? Who dance like this? Elon Musk doesn't want to steal your personal information. What the hell is he going to do with it? We just found out through that information that 50 to 100 billion, maybe more, is being paid out in Social Security, which is already on its back, to people who don't even have Social Security numbers. To somebody who's 150 years old. The corruption's unbelievable. And this guy's up there talking about violence. We don't want to go back and targeting Elon Musk. A slip and fall preacher. Is there such a thing? I think I've just created one, Mr. He's a slip and fall preacher. Ambulance case. Go ahead.
There was the possibility of violence.
Shut up. I don't want to hear you anymore. Good Lord. So what is the goal of Doge? I hate that name. D-O-G-E. Doge. Or doggy. D-O-G-E. I like that better. I like doggies. Well, let's listen to Elon Musk. There was a fascinating sort of joint press conference with President Trump and Elon Musk. For the left, public enemy number 1 and public enemy number 2. Cut 14, go.
At a high level, you say, what is the goal of Doge or Borg? And I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy. That's why you say, like, well, are we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop that big, you have to, if you sorry, but really, gravitas can be difficult sometimes. If there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have? If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy.
That's like me. I did this on Fox the other day, didn't I, Mr. Producer? And I've said it here. The bureaucracy is not part of the representative government. It's not even in the Constitution. If the people making most of the decisions are not in Congress, are not in the White House, but the people making most of the laws, all these regulations with penalties and fines and the rest, telling you what kind of vehicle you can drive, what kind of refrigerator you can own, and what kind of lawnmower you can have, that's not a representative republic. What is it? It's not a constitutional republic. It's not a federal republic. It's not a republic at all. I'm just telling you what people like Locke said and Montesquieu said, and then these other geniuses, these ancient philosophers, these post-Enlightenment philosophers. And they were right, 100% right. And I've said this myself 1,000 times behind this microphone. It's not a representative republic when the bureaucracy is issuing all the laws. Who do you go to? Who do you lobby? What are their names? It doesn't matter. They don't care. And you don't have time to find out. So what are you voting for? Go ahead.
Incredibly important that we close that feedback loop, we fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that's responsive.
He reminds me of a little bit. His affectations, the way he speaks, Bill Buckley. Not exactly, but close enough. He reminds me. Go ahead.
That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you looked at this, if you asked look at the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has...
Obviously, he watches, doesn't he? There's really no question about it. Right, dude, go ahead.
More power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want. And it's not, it does not match the will of the people. So it's just something we're going to fix.
No, you don't understand, says the pastor. You're going to make us go back. Back to what? Cut 15, go.
Including a lot of Democrats. I
don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a takeover of government and doing it as transparent. What's your response to that prediction?
Well, first of all, we asked for a sort of mandate from the public. The public voted. We can have a majority of the public vote voting for President Trump. Won the House, won the Senate. People voted for major government reform.
Let me just respond this way. You think the people voted for all this corruption and graft? You think the people voted for $50 to $100 billion to be paid to people who don't even exist or don't have social security numbers? You see, the way to turn this on them, and it needs to be turned on them, this is their edifice. They created most of this. Not exclusively, but mostly. Is to address what they're finding. To say, is this what the people want? You want your social security ripped off, America? Is that what you want? The same party that brought you massive illegal immigration and an open border and all the crime that came with it, all the fentanyl that came with it, is that what you want? The Democrats pretend that they stand for the people. They don't stand for anybody but themselves. Then finally, Caitlin Collins on CNN yesterday. We're going to spend a lot more time focused on old Caitlin. This is what passes as a reporter, a journalist. This, what a mess. Cut 16, go.
We're 3 weeks into the second Trump presidency, 3 weeks, and tonight there are warnings that the U.S. is dangerously close to a constitutional crisis.
Really? Where are these warnings? I don't hear them. Should I call 911? They're warnings that we're down near a constitutional crisis. Says who? Caitlin Collins. Who's she? I don't know. And who's she relying on? Cherry-picked professors.
Go ahead.
On this dropped when a federal judge today said the White House is defying his order.
All right, thank you, and good night to you, Caitlin. You never said this about Biden. Aren't you tired of being a fraud? Aren't you tired of it? Apparently not. She gets paid a lot to be a fraud. I'll be right back.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
YouTube personality Betty Johnson has cracked the code on the new era of newsmaking.
Very controversial, very nobody. It's a cultural and a we're trying to politicize this. For prime now, it's the country. Bro, the Betty Show. Yeah. Hey, if this is something that you needed, just put a little stuff. Yeah.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your money.
The state of the economy, the ability to afford your life. That's what people want.
Intellinate, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
The kind of thing I pay attention to. I'm looking at.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
You probably know this, but the best way to start just about any new habit is to actually start small. For example, if you're looking to eat healthier and you make these big sweeping changes to your diet, you might be able to keep that up for a little while, but your willpower is likely to at some point crumble. The same can be said of exercise, especially when you see some real benefits really quickly. A new study out of University College London found that adding just 5 minutes of exercise to your day was associated with a lowering of your blood pressure, and just 10 to 20 minutes more of exercise a day was linked to a clinically meaningful change in your blood pressure, meaning that it actually reduced the risk of heart disease and stroke. So find something that you enjoy doing, do it, and track your blood pressure. The results should speak for themselves. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
I was choosing alcohol over my family. That's when I made the call. Now I'm finding better ways to cope.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Let's see this, will you?
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
When I first learned about the basics of estate planning, it was driven home to me the importance of protecting my family. We all know about creating a will or building a trust, but what people don't know about are how documents can be misconstrued if not properly done. You don't want to leave your assets vulnerable to the government's decisions. That's why I recommend Trust and Will. Be prepared. Protect your family by managing your will or trust online. Trustandwill.com. Use code MARK. You'll get 10% off at trustandwill.com. Code MARK.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service and is not a law firm. See trustandwill.com for details. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-809-7171. 800-809-7171.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your free info.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. This is a major wake-up call. Making sense of the news. Chris Plant, weekdays 9 to noon on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
So we have Chris Sununu was just called a D by Anderson Cooper. CNN was producer. You know, a nickname for Richard. Just called a D by Anderson Cooper. You see, these leftists don't like pushback. My respect for Chris Sununu's moving up now. Just called a D by Anderson Cooper. Now, what's CNN going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing in the least. We dare not touch Anderson Cooper. He's iconic. No, he's an a-hole. He's always been an a-hole. Always will be an a-hole. He was born with a platinum spoon in his nose. Oh, yeah. You didn't know that? Did you know that, Mr. Producer? It comes from one of the wealthiest families ever. He's a man. He's a man of the little guy. You know, he defends the little guy. You must be a D, Chris. No, actually, you are, Anderson. Anderson's big interview, you might recall, was Stormy Daniels. Remember that? That was his career-making interview. I'm sure he's proud of it. It'll go in the Cable News Hall of Fame with 2 or 3 other people. This country was founded on freedom from a country that forced us to buy overpriced tea and then tried blockading us when we dumped their damn tea into the ocean. How'd that work out? Worked out great for us. It's time to throw your overpriced big wireless contract overboard, too. You don't need to pay $100 a person a month just to get free phone. Right? AT&T, right Verizon, right T-Mobile. Be done with those 3. They're the Goliaths. Stick with David. That's Pure Talk. Pure Talk's the best. I know, because I've been with them a long time. They've been with us. Many of you have done right by yourselves. You got Pure Talk. You've cut your costs in half. You have the best possible technology available. Pure Talk is my cell phone company. It was founded by a veteran. It's patriotic. It's here in America. And they say no to these inflated prices. With a qualifying plan, you can choose an iPhone 14, which has everything you need, or a Samsung Galaxy for nothing. Zero, free. And yes, this is for premium service on America's most dependable 5G network. Now, if you're overpaying, I don't know why, especially now with these difficult times. Get your iPhone 14 or Samsung Galaxy, $0. With a qualifying plan by dialing pound 250. That's pound 250. Say the keyword Mark Levin. Hello, pound 250. Say Mark Levin. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will immediately help you make the switch. Painless. Little as 10 minutes. No hassle, no gimmicks. Just honest, good, wireless price. Pound 250. Say the keyword Mark Levin. That's Pure Talk. We salute our armed forces, police officers, firefighters.
Excuse me.
Our truckers, the men and women in Ukraine, brothers and sisters in Israel, and you, the American people. We shall overcome. Let's stick together. And I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.
Making sense of your world.
That Nugent. Ted Nugent's been making a lot of videos lately.
But if you want to live in the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will win. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want to live in the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want to live in the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters. They're criminals.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped.
I'm not sure if you can hear him playing his guitar. The first part of that, though, we don't want war, but you want a war with the United States. You're poking a fucking deadly giant. That's a fact. Sayonara, everybody. I'm going to bed. Are you here, Wiggin? Did you want to come up? You gonna go live as soon as I leave, or what? I realize it's only 6 o'clock where you are. Been up since yesterday morning. Bye.